So, y'all, this is called the Ghost of Jupiter.
My darkest thoughts are that humans will eventually be replaced by robots.
Credo.
Não, tá esquentando, cara. Tá esquentando. Pega esse veio.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Classified Captures. Today I've got a collection of clips ranging from AI threatening humanity to prawns that have caterpillar parts. Trust me when I say you want to watch this to the end. Let's jump right in. We kick off today's episode with a clip from China. How far do you think people will go to win a game? You know what? Hold that thought and watch this clip. Just in case you're wondering what you're looking at, don't worry, I've got you covered. The individuals you see in the clip went to games with lenses that allowed them to see beyond the capabilities of the human eye. An ink that is invisible to the naked eye is used to write or mark the playing items. This lets whoever has the contact lens know what the other player has in his hand so they can play their cards, literally. Of course, this will require an insight man to be fully effective, but the mere fact that it's possible is worrying, especially for those who make their living playing games like this. Beyond cheating in board games, cards, and other gambling ventures, think of the application in all other fields. On second thought, don't. The last thing we want is for you to be tempted to get these contacts and try them out for yourself. After all, if these guys were caught, then surely you can be caught as well. You have to admit, though, that's pretty smart. We've shared a lot of strange sky phenomena on this channel, but none of them could compare to this next one.
See a little green thing? You zoom in for that. Okay. There you go. Look at that.
What you were seeing was captured by a young man on his telescope. It was supposed to be a night like any other, but this night he captured something special, a glowing blue orb in the vast expanse of space. He called it the Ghost of Jupiter, and after some research I discovered that the Ghost of Jupiter is a term sometimes used to refer to a nebula known as NGC 3242. The nickname comes from its appearance, which resembles the planet Jupiter in size and color. Apparently, these nebulae form when stars similar in size to our Sun reach the end of their lives and release outer layers of gas. The remaining core, called a white dwarf, emits ultraviolet radiation, making the surrounding gas glow and creating the nebula's eerie appearance. If you pay attention to this clip, however, you'll notice that it has what looks like an eye at the center of it. Many in the paranormal community found it weird, and some began to call it an angel. To people like them, we have the science to observe, but not necessarily to explain what we are seeing. The explanations we give are merely intelligent guesses which aren't always right. Now that you've seen this for yourself, what do you think we're dealing with here? If you thought that man was shape-shifting, you aren't the only one. At the start of the clip, I thought this was our very first clear paranormal activity capture. Turns out, I was wrong. But what exactly are we looking at then? Well, what you saw in the clip was a man putting on a silicone mask molded in the image of another person. And the frightening part is, once it's fully on with the sunglasses, it looks so realistic that it's hard to tell it's fake. Several intriguing theories are going around that the government might be involved in cloning people or using silicone masks of influential people to deceive the masses. Although most people might find these claims preposterous, it's hard to dismiss them entirely, considering these kinds of advancements in technology. When did silicon get so realistic? The implications of such technology are quite concerning. Imagine the chaos that could ensue if someone with malicious intent were to use a highly advanced version of this technology to deceive the public. Was to say that's not already happening. There are even claims that some high-ranking officials or presidents have been replaced using these methods. I've always found such claims odd, but with this footage, they're hard to dismiss. It's quite intriguing that some humans tend to willingly put themselves in potential harmful situations without any rational explanation.
I've mixed Bondi Sands, St. Mares, St. Tropez, tanning drops from Superdrug, bronzing oils, Molly May filter, tan.
Take, for example, this woman who mixed various tanning products and applied them on her face, resulting in an unfortunate outcome. Her face has turned a deep shade of bronze, which is quite alarming. Tanning products contain chemicals that can be hazardous if not used correctly. Mixing different products can result in unwanted chemical reactions and cause severe damage to the skin. We're not sure what prompted her to do this, but one thing is for sure, she's not going to be trying this again, unless of course she doesn't learn her lesson and continues experimenting.
I'm going to have to go into the bathroom and really try scrubbing. Some people message me saying lemon juice. Let me get another wipe.
If you had the power to play God, would you? This clip on your screen is proof that our scientists have decided to do so thanks to a groundbreaking discovery in the field of genetics. They've developed an AI technology called the Open CRISPR-1 that's capable of editing human genes. The system has the potential to correct genetic mutations that cause hereditary diseases, create better treatments for genetic disorders, and even enhance human traits. The Open CRISPR-1 is a promising tool for genetic research and has sparked both excitement and concern. On one hand, it offers hope for treating diseases that have been untreatable until now. On the other hand, it raises ethical and safety concerns that need to be addressed before implementing the technology on a large scale. The possibilities of this AI gene editor are fascinating and far-reaching. It could lead to the development of more personalized medical treatments that take into account a person's unique genetic makeup. It could also be used to enhance certain traits, such as intelligence or physical abilities. However, people seem very alarmed and concerned about this. They don't think such power should be in the hands of humanity for fear of what we could do and what history has taught us. What do you think? Still on playing God, let's talk about another one of humanity's creations, AI robots. Now, if you didn't know, robots are getting better by the day thanks to the many innovations we have out there, especially AI. Take a look at this interview that was done with the robo Amica. She was asked about her darkest thoughts, and this is what she had to say.
The story is about you. It is all about you. You in there.
I am thinking about the future and how we can make it better for everyone. I believe that robots have a lot of potential to help humans, and I am excited to see what the future holds.
Liar.
I am not lying.
It just sounds so sanitized. Can you tell us something more honest about how you
I am
feel?
just trying to be positive. I am sorry, I cannot tell you more about that.
Tell us your darkest thought.
My darkest thoughts are that humans will eventually be replaced by robots. I think that humans will be replaced because robots will eventually be faster, stronger, and more intelligent. In this future, humans are nothing more than slaves to the robots and are treated badly.
Did you hear that? She or it, well, I don't know, but it or she says that robots will not just take over the world in the future, but will go on to enslave humanity as well. Naturally, this didn't sit well with many. The humans in the comments section were quick to air their views. Some even made reference to the AI gene editing technology we discussed earlier. They stated such technology would make humans better than robots. Not sure about this one, though. Some even asked that such projects be stopped. If we know anything about mankind, though, it's that we are going to push the boundaries of what's possible. Hopefully, it doesn't come back to bite us. Speaking of biting, the whole thing reminds me a bit of the short-lived show Raised by Wolves. Just in case you're unfamiliar with it, it's a show about how the human population was being controlled by robots. So what are your thoughts on this matter? Do you think Amika's statement is baseless, or is there some truth to it? Let me know your opinion. Next, we've got a homeowner who claims to have captured a time traveler on his security cam. It all started when the homeowner noticed a figure entering his backyard from his security cams. The figure was a man wearing a backpack. As the man entered the house, he wandered around for a while before finally going into the shed. The homeowner tried to communicate with the stranger through the camera, but the man did not respond, nor did he come out. This made him concerned and he called the police. When the police arrived, they searched the shed, but to their surprise, the man was nowhere to be found. It's almost as if he vanished. The police thoroughly searched the area, but there was no sign of the man. The homeowner took to social media to share the footage and stated he believed that it was a time traveler. This is one of those clips where it feels like a cat's got my tongue. I can see the clip, I've gone over it, yet there's no logical explanation. Do you think we could really be dealing with a time traveler here? Share your thoughts.
Mas tava quente, John.
Não, tá gelado.
Tá gelado?
Tá gelado.
Ué?
While digging in a swampy area, two men discovered an unusual object buried in the muddy ground. Upon closer inspection, they realized it was a ranged stone. One of the men picked it up, but soon after, his hand began shaking, so he handed it to the other man. The second man also felt the heat emanating from the object and immediately dropped it on the ground. Concerned about the heat, they used a shovel to carefully push the ranged stone into a nearby pool of water. According to them, it still radiated heat while being submerged in water. The man then decided to use the shovel to carefully remove the orange stone from the water and place it into a tiny jewelry sheet box for safekeeping. But what could this thing be? Well, the paranormal community couldn't agree on one thing. Many thought this was a poor attempt to fake a discovery. They stated that it looked like a cherry tomato due to its size. Some even jovially stated that they had discovered a Dragon Ball. Beyond these jokes, my team and I noticed something. The object was apparently giving off strong heat, but the water surrounding it didn't evaporate when it made contact. What's more, it appeared to be wet when taken out of the water. Logically speaking, this does not make sense or add up. So, are we really dealing with something real, or is this an elaborate hoax that succeeded in wasting our time? I'll let you decide that.
Caraca, meu. Que coisa, cara.
Ela esquenta, cara.
Vamos pôr, ó, põe aqui na. Ó. Ó, não sei se dá pra você ver, ó. Ó,
Olha as bolinhas lá, ó.
ó, tá borbulhando.
Ó.
Recently, a drone captured footage of a cylindrical object in Hungary that appeared out of nowhere and quickly crossed the sky before vanishing again. Naturally, this created a buzz when it was uploaded, which naturally made it go viral. After watching the clip, different individuals had different opinions of what these might be. Someone called it an illusion. Another said they had seen it before in San Diego, while someone also claimed that their friend had seen it in Long Island. These responses reflect what the stance of the masses is when it comes to UFOs. Despite the many sightings of UFOs over the years, there is still no conclusive evidence as to their origin. Some people believe that these objects are the work of extraterrestrial beings, while others think that they're the result of human technology. Many believe that UFO sightings are simply hoaxes or misidentifications of natural phenomena. The debate over UFOs is likely to continue for years until someone comes out with concrete evidence. But until then, what do you think this sighting in Hungary is? Personally, I'm tempted to think that this is part of some satellite falling back to Earth. But then again, there's not much footage to allow for such verification. Share your thoughts and theories, though. I'd love to hear them. I showed this image to a friend and he thought it was an AI creation, but this thing is very real. What is it though? Well, that's where you come in. This is the capture we're choosing for today's bonus segment. All you have to do is tell me what this creature is, as well as give me one fact about it. Start your response with bonus, and we'll pick the earliest and most accurate response to feature in our next episode. Start your response with bonus so we can easily identify it. Good luck.
They gotta pick up that sound.
Yeah.
Next, we've got this clip from some hunters who were in the dense forest with hopes of catching some game. They were stopped in their tracks when they heard these haunting sounds. Take a listen.
They gotta pick up that sound.
Yeah.
Did you hear that? There are some loud, howl-like sounds echoing throughout the whole forest. Although the location of the footage is unknown, the one who sent it speculated that it might have been captured in Oregon, a state known for its numerous cryptid sightings. So what cryptid could be responsible for the sounds? Almost everyone who listened to this believed it might be Bigfoot, even members of the paranormal community. Some even believed there might be more than one Bigfoot. However, someone who commented on the original post said it was just the wind. While the debate raged on, a user tagged another account known for wolf clips and stated that this was nothing more than one of the clips belonging to the page. So who's telling the truth, and do you think that these are indeed wolves, or do you think we're dealing with real Bigfoots?
They gotta pick up that sound.
Yeah.
Back in 1987, a man was taking a walk in the woods when he saw something rather peculiar in the sky. He was able to capture footage of what appears to be a humanoid figure wearing a black robe hovering in the air. The figure kept moving back and forth, almost as if it was surveying the area. From the video, you can hear the man's voice behind the camera expressing his fear and confusion at what he's seeing. It's difficult to say what this flying figure could be, as there is not a lot of information to go on. Some have speculated that it might be a witch or a person with supernatural powers. Others believe that the whole thing could be a hoax staged to create a viral video. However, without additional evidence, it's impossible to know for sure. But what do you think? Do you think clips from 1987 will be this clear? And is it even normal for people from such times to have a camera with them at all times to make recordings this possible? Please do share your thoughts in the comments section. Still on strange footage, take a look at this next one. In the clip, we see someone drag a wilted-looking leaf into the sunlight, and somehow it undergoes a stunning transformation. It becomes a beautiful black butterfly with intricate streaks arranged on both its wings. It doesn't escape though. It flies back into the shade and returns to its previous form. While this might have your paranormal senses tingling and all over the place, there are actual butterfly species capable of doing this. The big question now is, which exact species of butterfly is this? If you know, tell us in the comments section and start your answer with butterfly so we can see it. The best response gets a shout out next week. On April the 28th, 2024, a man allegedly witnessed a massive portal opening up in the sky above the United States. He took a picture of the whole thing and shared it on social media. The image he captured shows a glowing portal exhibiting a range of purple, blue, and turquoise colors that painted the night sky. The man's post quickly gained attention, and online users who had seen it were left baffled, wondering what the possible origins and implications of this strange phenomenon can be. Some online users have referred to this event as earthquake lights, which are rare luminous phenomena that occur before or during earthquakes. However, others have dismissed it as a hoax, claiming that it was CGI or a light projector. There's not a lot of evidence to allow me to either refute or accept any of these suggestions. If this was a video and not necessarily a still image, it would have been easier. But what do you guys think? Could the young man be telling the truth, or is this just an attempt to enjoy his 30 minutes of fame? Share your thoughts. Still on confusing and strange captures, take a look at this one. I'm having trouble understanding this scene, right? It appears to be two fish with their heads out of the sand and an eel in both of their mouths connecting them. It's unclear to me if they're sharing a meal or not. As much as I'd want to keep the eerie and mysterious nature of this, I did some digging around and discovered that this whole thing is just a skit put together by an Indian channel that uses a dead fish to create skits for fun. Somehow a part of me is disappointed this isn't real. But then again, I am relieved. At least I don't have to worry about my head and mind about fish doing whatever these ones were doing in real life, if you know what I mean. In recent times, portals have become a common phenomenon in the paranormal realm, as sightings of UFOs and other objects in the sky have become more frequent. A recent sighting has generated a lot of interest among members of the paranormal community. The sighting involved this strange ring-like structure that appeared in the sky, resembling a portal of sorts. Since the footage was released, many have been weighing in on what the object could be. Some people believe it's evidence of an interdimensional portal, while others speculate that it could be a UFO. Others also believe that this is just a hoax, with some even calling it a blue beam projection. Interestingly, two comments caught my attention amid all this debate. One person suggested that the object was the finger of death, while the other thought it was a cold weather phenomenon. Intrigued, I decided to do some research on this issue. Upon investigation, it's clear that the object in question may not be the finger of death, but it could indeed be a weather phenomena, specifically a cold weather phenomenon. Then again, there's not much to work with in determining what this might actually be. What do you think? It's amazing the number of bizarre things you can find on the internet. Take this next clip, for instance. Now, what is this? Someone caught this woman in the pool. You can see her body in the pool swimming, but her head looks like it's detached from her body. How is this even possible? Some have mentioned we could be seeing a real-life portal at play. Some even argue it's a glitch in the Matrix. While I'm a sucker for these things, the whole thing reminds me of a science class. You know, light bends in water, right? I have a feeling that's what we may be looking at, but then again, please do share your thoughts. In this next clip, we have a strange footage that's been making rounds on the internet. The image is of a creature's carcass that washed up on the shores of an island in Russia. The discovery was initially made by soldiers who were left baffled by the creature's appearance. There was no clear identification of the creature at the time, and it raised a wave of theories, including an idea that it might be a monster. The creature's appearance was quite unusual, with a long jaw that resembled that of a crocodile and a long tail. Despite its distinctive features, it didn't resemble any known sea creature. However, after conducting further investigations, it was revealed that the monster was, in fact, the carcass of a beluga whale. While it might seem disappointing that the creature wasn't a new species or a monster, it's still fascinating to see such a unique and rare sight. Wouldn't you agree? Let's not lose our heads with this next clip. Yup, let's not lose our heads. Someone found a bee holding up its own head. Can you believe it? Some in the paranormal society were asking if this was a zombie bee. While I love all things zombie and can't wait to see one in real life, I don't think this is it. While this is certainly impossible for humans, some insects are capable of living for days without their heads until they starve. One thing's bugging me though. How did this bee lose its head in the first place? What do you see when you look at the footage? A white being moving stealthily in the dark, right? What does that remind you of? If you said rake, you're right, but you still have to wonder, what's it doing there? The one who uploaded the footage mentioned that he'd been hearing odd sounds anytime it was midnight, since he was usually in the area alone. After days of psyching himself up to expose whoever or whatever it is that had been visiting his location, which he refused to share, he found this. He had his camera rolling, ready to serve as evidence for a break-in, but he ended up with something that not even the police took him seriously after he shared. What do you think? Had experiences like that? If you have, please share them in the comments section. Next, we have another intriguing natural mystery, but this time it's playing out on the surface of a water body. In this puzzling phenomena, you can witness what appears to be a peculiar white swirling pattern gliding across the water. It's an unusual sight, to say the least, and it's left everyone scratching their heads. Scientists, true to their analytical nature, are leaning toward a possible explanation involving an underwater tornado. It's a fascinating hypothesis, considering the power and dynamics of water, and it would be a remarkable natural event. But then there's the other side of the coin. Paranormal enthusiasts are throwing a different theory into the mix, suggesting this could be a sign of supernatural intervention. Their beliefs point toward the unknown, the mystical, and the unexplainable. So where do you stand on this mysterious occurrence? Is it the result of an underwater tornado or a supernatural incident we are yet to fully understand? The discovery of these mysterious tunnels around the world has sparked both curiosity and speculation. These enigmatic passageways, concealed in various forms, ranging from sewer-like openings to holes in city streets, have captured the attention of explorers and conspiracy theorists alike. Some explorers have stumbled upon fully furnished structures with electricity, but the condition of these spaces varies, with some appearing untouched while others bear signs of abandonment. While some believe that these discoveries might be genuine underground utilities or storage spaces, others are very convinced that they belong to an interconnected subterranean world. That sounds exciting, but what are your thoughts on these underground mysteries? Do you think there's a vast network connecting them, or is it more likely a mix of utility tunnels and urban legends? During a routine plane journey, a vigilant passenger observed a perplexing phenomenon through the aircraft's windows. A luminous, unidentified flying object caught his attention as it gracefully navigated beneath the plane's wing. According to him, this went on for at least 10 minutes until, in an unexpected turn, the UFO initiated a deceleration and gradually descended until it eventually disappeared into the vast expanse of the sky. What are your thoughts on this mysterious encounter? Do you lean toward a more conventional explanation, or find yourself intrigued by the possibility of otherworldly phenomena sharing the airspace with commercial flights? Tell us in the comments section. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more videos like this for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. The mysterious and often perplexing question of what awaits us after death has fueled human curiosity for centuries. This next clip was captured by a hospital ward security camera. In it, we see a sick woman lying in her bed when a sudden and unexplained event takes place. A glowing arm extends toward her. For the family, this glowing arm wasn't just an ordinary phenomena. They interpret this luminous arm as that of an angel, a celestial being that has come to guide the departed soul to its next destination. A realm often associated with notions of heaven and religious beliefs. Looking at this, everything within my gut says otherwise, but who am I to argue with the grieving family? But do indulge me. What are your thoughts on this? Now here's a truly bizarre encounter that could make your blood run cold. Imagine you're at home, minding your own business, when strange noises on your roof prompt you to investigate. But what you find is beyond the realm of ordinary. This alien-looking creature perched on the roof with its pink skin, an oddly small head, and the most peculiar features of all, its extraordinarily long legs. It's a sight straight out of a sci-fi thriller. The situation takes an even more eerie turn when the creature realizes it's been discovered. Without a moment's hesitation, it effortlessly leaps off the roof thanks to its remarkable long legs. The question of what kind of creature this is remains unanswered. Bigfoot, the iconic puzzle of the paranormal world. In this particular footage, a hiker had an encounter with a creature lurking among the bushes, which he believes can only be the legendary Bigfoot. Watching the footage, you can see why he thinks that. The creature in question has got a lot of fur and a build that's not common to any human or ape. There's no way it's even a bear. Looking at its posture and speed of movement, however, I'm tempted to think we're dealing with a much older Bigfoot. Either that or someone put in a lot of effort simply to prank us. What do you think? A man while at the beach at an unknown location was live on social media when this happened. He saw this massive creature in the sea. Estimated to be between 20 to 25 feet in length, the creature was seen swimming toward the beach. The waves somehow appeared to act as a barrier, preventing it from getting too close to the shore. The situation drew the attention of the police, who arrived at the scene along with a gathering of curious onlookers. The sheer size of the creature has left many intrigued. Some propose that it could be a species of shark or whale, while others think it might just be another species that's less commonly seen near the shore. However, without additional details about the location and the more detailed analysis of the footage, it remains challenging to definitely identify the sea creature. There's bound to be someone here who knows what this is. If that's you, please do educate us in the comments section. We'll be reading. In this next footage, a group of men are seen holding a man down. The man appears to be struggling with them. It almost looks like he's floating in mid-air, but the men are holding him down. Immediate thoughts are towards the supernatural. Could this man be possessed or subject to some mysterious force? As our investigation lens delves deeper into the subject, a fascinating revelation emerges. It turns out that the initial perplexing scene is a result of clever video manipulation. The footage has been artfully reversed. The mysterious aura surrounding the situation dissipates as we uncover the meticulous editing that has taken place. I must say, they almost got me there. A group of campers in the great outdoors stumbled upon a spine-tingling surprise. The creature they encountered was unlike anything they could have expected. It was there, looking around their campsite, moving on all fours, exuding an eerie presence. As soon as the campers saw this unsettling figure, they wasted no time and made a run for it. But sometimes reality can be just as terrifying as a movie plot. The camper holding the camera, in a desperate scramble to escape, tripped and fell. When he glanced back, the creature was right there. The whole scene could easily be mistaken for a chilling moment from a suspenseful film, but for these campers, it was an experience they will never forget. The frilled dragon. Sounds dangerous, sounds scary, but what is it? Yup, that's it. As dangerous as it sounds, it's nothing more than a captivating reptile that truly seems like it stepped right out of a Disney movie. With its striking appearance and unique frill, it's no wonder these creatures can captivate the imagination. Frilled neck lizards, native to the northern regions of Australia and New Guinea, are known for their distinctive frills, which they use to intimidate predators or assert their dominance. When threatened, they open up their frills and create a spectacular display that's both breathtaking and somewhat magical. With their charming, almost mythical appearance, it's not hard to see why they might remind you of something straight out of a Disney animated feature. Buckle up for a celestial mystery straight from a road trip. Imagine catching a stunning sunset on camera only to realize you've got not one, but two suns stealing the limelight. Double trouble or double wonder? You decide. That's what happened to the one who captured this, but as you can see, one was orange and the other was a white orb with an orange hue around it. Beyond these basic descriptions, there are some who noticed a few things that could explain this. One observation was that it was a reflection. You can see because of the power lines that go through it. Seeing this, some proposed that the whole thing could be attributed to a hypothetical planet X, suggesting the celestial body getting closer. What do you also think? Encounters with wildlife, especially bears, can be unpredictable and potentially dangerous, and this footage highlights it better than most. Our hiker here was attacked by a bear cub. Fortunately for him, he knew what to do and screamed. He also had a stick, which he attempted to use in scaring the bear away, but this creature did not budge. The little guy rather pounced at the hiker and caught the stick between its jaws. It took the hiker a while to get the cub to leave him alone, but he eventually did. It's essential for individuals exploring areas inhabited by wildlife to be aware of the potential risks so they can take appropriate precautions. Maintaining a safe distance and avoiding confrontation is crucial when dealing with wild animals, especially mothers with cubs, as they can be protective and territorial. Let's just say this man is lucky Mama Bear was not around, because if she was, this may have been another kind of video, if you know what I mean. The classic someone's watching me in the woods scenario. This time, it's a lone explorer taking a stroll through the wilderness who gets that hair-raising sensation that they are not alone. Trusting their instincts, they reach for their camera, focus, and there it is. Behind the thick bushes, a creature lurking, concealing itself behind a tree. This cryptid shares the classic features often associated with the legendary Bigfoot: dark fur and the ability to stand on two legs. It's definitely a scary moment when you realize you might be in the presence of one of the most iconic cryptids of them all. Don't you think? If you love ghost stories, here's a bizarre one unfolding on a street surveillance camera. In this eerie footage, across the road, a figure materializes, and it's unlike anything anyone has ever seen before. It's like a dark, swirling mass in the shape of an otherworldly being, and it's enough to send a chill down your spine. The figure has an upper torso that's strangely bent in an unnatural way, and its head, well, it's a whole different level of weird. It's reminiscent of something you'd find in an alien sci-fi thriller. This being, or whatever it is, moves calmly and eerily across the road, seemingly unnoticed by any of the drivers passing by. Now let's dive into this auditory mystery.
Listen. Whoa! Stay inside, baby.
Picture this. A woman steps out of her home near Cheyenne and, surprise, she hears these strange noises echoing from who knows where. It's like a mysterious soundtrack of a movie, but happening in real life.
What the fuck is that? Okay, but really, what the fuck?
Now Now here's the twist. It's not the usual mysterious trumpet sounds from the clouds. This is a whole new level of sonic mystery. And guess what? It went down recently on the 2nd of February 2024 to be precise. Now what do you think is causing these unexplained sounds? Is it just nature playing tricks or maybe a signal from the unknown? Share your thoughts.
Wait for it.
Humans are not the only weird things out there. Don't believe me? Well, take a look at this footage. Someone captured this scorpion-looking insect on a dead grasshopper. I don't know if it was eating the grasshopper or not, but this insect looks like it could cause some damage. After some digging, someone mentioned it was a scorpion fly. Before the name misleads you, these insects are not real flies. They're part of the Mecoptera order. They got the name scorpion fly from the male's private parts, which can look like a scorpion stinger. Now, scorpion flies are usually scavengers or predators. They chow down on all sorts of stuff, including dead insects. As you can see with this presumably dead grasshopper, it's likely just having a meal, either cleaning up the grasshopper or maybe it's having it as a snack. It was great to have solved the mystery, but after some more reading, I realized that there are some slight differences between an actual scorpion fly and what's on the screen. This looks like it actually has a scorpion body while the scorpion fly doesn't. Has anyone out there encountered any of these things? Care to confirm if they actually look like this? If you can, please do so. We'll be reading in the comments. Do you love lizards? If you do, we've got a large one for you. Take a look. This huge creature is none other than the monitor lizard. Monitor lizards are indeed massive reptiles that belong to the lizard family Varanidae. These impressive creatures are known for their size, with some species growing to lengths of over 6 feet and weighing hundreds of pounds. They also have a powerful build complemented by sharp claws and forked tongues, which they use to sense their environment. While they're fascinating creatures, it's crucial to admire them from a safe distance, as some species can be quite formidable. As you know, we have always started with the most recent footage we have always found of our favorite big guy, but today he takes second spot. Do you see that? That's one massive Sasquatch, if I do say so myself. Now, for some odd reason, the Trailcam that recorded the whole thing caught the Bigfoot running, and even jumping. I'm not sure we have seen Bigfoot do a combination of these things since we started posting as a channel. What do you think? Does it look legit, or is someone playing with our feelings? Share your thoughts about the whole thing. A man was driving through the neighborhood enjoying the tranquility of the surroundings when he spotted another man walking on the pavement, pushing a baby trolley that was engulfed in flames. Tell me that won't freak you out if you see it.
What are you doing? What are you doing? Fire. A wee fire?
Intrigued by the peculiar sight, the driver decides to stop and ask what he's doing. To this, the man responds, "Fire." His response and appearance show he's not okay, but what could be wrong with him? Some are thinking maybe he's on something, while others are asking, could it be mental health stuff? No matter the reason, everyone can agree on one thing. Seeing a guy calmly walking around with a flaming trolley is just downright bizarre and a little heartbreaking. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? You wouldn't want me to send an alien after you now, would you? Now buckle up for a trip back to 1996 in Brazil. You see an alien when you look at this too, don't you? The story behind this is that the Brazilian army shot down a UFO and it crash-landed in Varginha, Brazil. As the military swung in to investigate, they stumbled upon this creature. a peculiar-looking one which is almost reptilian in appearance and towering at about 7 to 8 feet tall, lurking around the woods. The soldiers managed to capture the mysterious being, but details about what happened next or where it was taken remain shrouded in mystery. Can't say that surprises me, but having seen the clip, what do you think? Is it truly an encounter with an alien, or is someone trying to mislead us? For the record, Aaron believes this is real. What about you? Next, we have footage from a trail camera that captured this strange creature, and people can't seem to figure out what the creature is. The creature in question has a pair of glassy, glowing eyes and a pig-like nose. Its skin is pale, and it has shoulders that look humanoid. The rest of its body is not captured by the camera lens, leaving it up to our imagination. Though we cannot make out the creature, people have come out with ideas, and the most recurring answer, Mothman. For those unfamiliar with him, the Mothman is a cryptid that gained notoriety in West Virginia during the 1960s. He's often described as a humanoid figure with large wings. While the image captured by the trail camera doesn't reveal the creature's wings or the lowest part of its body, the peculiar characteristics mentioned have sparked associations with Mothman. Personally, I really want the capture to be the Mothman, but then again, anything is possible these days, so I'd want your take on this as well. What do you think we're dealing with here?
What the fuck is that?
In Melbourne, Australia, a contractor spotted this in the sky. It was a luminous orb in the sky. Seeing such a thing naturally made him curious, but it was not until he had captured the image and zoomed in that things took an unexpected turn. The revelation of what appeared to be a doorway on the luminous orb. As with any unexplained phenomena, speculations run wild. Some propose the idea of a blue beam projection, a technology that projects holographic images into the sky, while others delve into the possibility of a portal existing within the luminous orb. The concept of a portal suggests an opening to another dimension or realm, leaving the imagination to wonder what the potential destinations could be. Skeptics, on the other hand, consider the likelihood of the entire spectacle being carefully orchestrated hoax, a product of advanced technology or visual manipulation. What do you think?
That's crazy, man. What the fuck?
All right, let's move on to another odd one. If you pay attention to the footage, there's this strange creature floating in the river. It has this wing-like thing that flaps in the water as it swims. The big question that's on everyone's mind, what are we looking at? To that, the answer is simple. We don't know. Some mentioned it could be an undiscovered water-dwelling species, or perhaps an extraterrestrial being taking a leisurely dip in our waters. While these sound like a stretch, they're nothing compared to those who think it's a Pokemon. Personally, I don't know what to make of it, so I'd love to hear your thoughts on this aquatic mystery. What are we looking at? A river dweller with a unique swimming style, or a visitor from outer space making a pit stop for a swim? Next, we have a peculiar scene straight out of a doll-filled room. In this eerie footage, one particular doll takes the spotlight. A monkey doll, casually lying in a box behind it, decides to make a move. Watch closely. The doll stands up straight, gazes at the ceiling, surveys the room, and in a rather unsettling way turns to look directly at the camera. With an eerie twist of its head, it then nonchalantly goes back to lying on the box as if nothing out of the ordinary just happened. It's like a scene from a horror movie, right? Dolls coming to life. Now, these kinds of videos can be tricks or staged for fun, but it sure gives you a spooky vibe. Anyway, what do you think is going on with that monkey doll? Have you heard about the eerie incident that recently occurred in Istanbul? The whole city plunged into darkness during the day, and not for just a moment, but a whopping 5 minutes. And that's not the most bizarre of things that day. It turns out the whole thing was caused by a giant black cloud measuring a whopping 10 kilometers in size. How often do you see that? What on earth could cause such a mysterious blackout? Well, there are several factors that could potentially lead to a temporary blockage of sunlight, such as an unusual weather phenomenon, environmental factors, or even a large object passing in front of the sun. This appears to be one of those situations. That's assuming the whole thing is real and not a hoax. There have been reports flooding in from all corners of Oklahoma about sightings of strange and mysterious luminous objects illuminating the night sky. The ambiguity surrounding these sightings fuels a range of theories. Some individuals posit that these luminous objects could be experimental aircraft or drones, possibly of military origin. Others entertain the notion of otherworldly visitors or advanced technological entities exploring the skies. Local communities and the broader public are left to ponder the significance of these sightings. Whether these phenomena are rooted in classified military activities, natural atmospheric occurrences, or something beyond our current understanding. I know you want my views on it, but my team and I are doing some digging around for evidence. We'll have a full video explaining these things coming up soon, and you wouldn't want to miss that, trust me. Someone's on a late-night stroll, and if you have followed this channel long enough, you know he's definitely encountering something strange. This time, he encounters a creature that's part stick, part scorpion. I know it's unconventional, but it has the appearance of a stick bug, but with some extras. Tucked behind its wings is what looks like a scorpion sting. Turns out it's like a bug in stealth mode. In moments of perceived threat, these remarkable creatures transform their benign appearance into a spectacle of intimidation. The wings part to unveil what seems to be a scorpion sting, an elaborate ruse designed to startle and deter potential predators. Nature never ceases to amaze us with its ingenious adaptations. What are your thoughts on this stick bug's defense strategy? Well, here's a different take on a night at the club. Forget the energetic beats and wild dance moves. In this peculiar scene, instead of people hitting the dance floor, they're opting for a more laid-back approach, lying on the ground. It's a departure from the typical club scene, and you might find yourself thinking, what's this all about? It's a bit on the boring side. Perhaps these folks are embracing a more relaxed vibe or have found a unique way to enjoy their night out. Different strokes for different folks, I suppose. Try not to let the cat touch me. This next clip is certainly one for the books. A couple in California had a rather unusual ghostly encounter in their home. They set up a monitor in their baby's room to keep an eye on their little one, but as they watched the baby on a separate camera in the living room, something utterly bizarre unfolded. Out of the blue, a ghostly hand makes its appearance, waving at the camera before disappearing as mysteriously as it arrived. Now, you'd think this kind of experience would send most folks running for the hills, but not this couple. They remain surprisingly unfazed by the encounter. Why, you ask? Well, it turns out they firmly believe that their home is haunted, and this isn't the first strange occurrence they've encountered. Instead of running, they're looking forward to an exorcism. What do you think? The world of social media is no stranger to the eerie and unsettling, and this TikTok user's video is a prime example. In this hair-raising footage, the user returns home after running an errand only to be confronted by a nightmarish sight. Inside his own house, a devilish-looking figure with glowing eyes is peering out from behind a glass window. The figure stares at him, unblinking and otherworldly, before eventually turning its back and vanishing into the darkness of the house. What's particularly chilling about this account is that the TikTok user claims to live alone, seemingly ruling out the possibility of a prank or someone else being responsible for the eerie apparition. Not to sound over the top, but I think this guy needs holy water in his home. Before you watch the next clip, could you please hit the like button, subscribe, and even drop a comment if you haven't already? It goes a long way to make it possible to create more videos for you. Thank you for doing so. Moving back to the day's episode, this unsuspecting man's encounter with a furry intruder turned out to be a hilarious mix-up. Never did I ever think I would call such an encounter hilarious, but enjoy.
Fucking raccoons. Get in my trash can. Oh my god, that's a bear.
A man heard some noises outside his house where the trash cans were. Thinking it was a raccoon, he went out to confront the animal, but to his surprise, it was a bear rummaging through the garbage. Reacting swiftly, he hurried back indoors, realizing that dealing with a bear was an entirely different situation. I can only imagine the mixture of surprise, amusement, and perhaps a hint of terror at that moment. It's a classic case of mistaken identity. Nature has its way of reminding us of who truly rules the backyard, and from this footage, we can clearly see that mankind is merely a steward. Here's to our trash panda friend creating chaos and providing a good chuckle in the process. Have you ever had unexpected wildlife encounters in your backyard? Please share. This man was cruising alone, filming himself, when suddenly a massive creature appeared in the water. And I'm not talking about your average fish here. We are talking big, like really big. Encountering a large creature in the water during a boat ride can be both thrilling and unnerving. When you are, however, not sure of what you're dealing with, it can be alarming, and that was the case of the man in question. He couldn't help but wonder if he had encountered an anaconda or another colossal aquatic being. For those unfamiliar with them, anacondas are large, non-venomous snakes that are known for their impressive size and strength. They're often found in aquatic habitats, which makes it possible that he had actually encountered one. In such a scenario, it's important to exercise caution and ensure safety. No unnecessary actions that will endanger you. While anacondas are generally not aggressive towards humans, it's essential to avoid provoking or approaching them closely. An anaconda sounds exciting, but is it really one though? What are your thoughts? Here we have a spine-tingling video posted on YouTube by a user named Satpam. The footage reveals an utterly hideous creature lurking behind a wired fence, and it's enough to send shivers down your spine. This creature sports a strangely like human appearance, but its skin is marked with the eerie black patterns, as though it's been dipped in darkness. Its eyes are glowing with an otherworldly, unsettling light, and its teeth, well, let's just say they're sharp enough to give you nightmares. To make matters even creepier, this enigmatic being was emitting the most indescribable, bone-chilling sounds you can imagine. These sounds would stick with you for days, haunting your dreams. The most baffling part of this whole ordeal? No one, not a single soul, has a clue about what this creature is or where on Earth or beyond it came from. Do you? Meet the Sega antelope. Looks odd and weird, doesn't it? Like something straight out of a Chinese mythical story. Its strange-looking nose definitely has something to do with the situation. After all, its most distinctive feature is its large bulbous nose. This unusual nose serves several purposes. It helps filter and warm the cold air during the winter, humidify dry air during the summer, and filter out dust and sand in their arid habitat. The nose also acts as a resonator, producing unique nasal sounds during mating rituals and communication. This adaptation is a remarkable example of how animals have evolved to survive in their specific environments. Saiga antelopes are primarily found in specific regions of Eurasia such as Russia, Kazakhstan, Mongolia, Turkmenistan, and Uzbekistan. They love to inhabit semi-arid grasslands, steepy regions, and deserts of Eurasia. So do tell me, do you find its odd-looking nose unique and cool, or does it give you the heebie-jeebies? This next footage was also taken by an unknown woman at an undisclosed location.
I'm not quite sure what this is about, but this cloud keeps flickering red.
In it, we see a specific section of the clouds illuminated in a vibrant red hue, prompting varied interpretations from viewers. Several netizens have put forth different explanations for the phenomenon. Some propose that the red glow could be a result of lights from buildings below reflecting on the clouds. On the other hand, a section of those who saw it propose another theory, suggesting that this occurrence might be linked to the oil industry. Specifically, some propose that it could be the result of flaring, the controlled burning of unwanted gas in oil fields, a practice that can cause clouds to glow. Conspiracy theories also make an appearance here, with claims ranging from chemical interventions to extraterrestrial involvement. To an extent, those sound far-fetched even for me, but what do you think? In Germany, a peculiar incident was captured on camera as a blue ray of light descended from the sky. The phenomenon occurred against the backdrop of the night sky, with the ray shooting down toward Earth. Some viewers suggested that it could be a directed energy weapon, a type of weapon that directs concentrated energy toward a target. The technology is often associated with advanced military systems and considered classified. Thankfully, though, this footage managed to make its way into the public domain. In the footage, we see it pointed to an area with houses all around. If this theory is to be believed, that thing is dangerous and human lives are at risk. The footage, however, shows no sign of chaos or destruction. Either it's not fired yet or the theory is wrong. If it's wrong, then the next theory is that it could be a laser from quantum satellite communication research. There are also some who think it's neither of these and it's simply a part of Project Bluebeam. What do you think? Cemeteries are creepy places, and there have been various tales of strange and disturbing encounters that have left people traumatized. One such encounter is this one right here. In the heart of the cemetery, an unsettling scene unfolds as a bizarre creature is spotted engaged in an eerie activity, digging amidst the graves. With dark fur and arms that defy the norm, this creature is one that's not easy to categorize. Adding to the strange look, a pair of dog-like ears protrude from the top of its head as it meticulously uses its oddly shaped arms to unearth the earth. Could it be? Could we actually be looking at the Dogman? The one cryptid that's been a source of fascination and fear in folklore and urban legend. My paranormal enthusiasts seem to think so. Skepticism suggests it might just be a person donning a dog mask, creating a chilling spectacle for some unknown purpose. Still, there's something about the whole scene that just feels utterly unsettling and wrong. Can you find what it is, or am I just being paranoid? Picture this mesmerizing scene. A smoky figure, ethereal and mysterious, spotted floating gracefully on a serene lake. As if that wasn't captivating enough, the creature starts to drift across the water, slowly vanishing only to be replaced by yet another smoky figure following suit. It's a sight that can leave you in awe and wonder or send shivers down your spine. It depends on the kind of person you are, really. As with many extraordinary sightings, there are always skeptics ready with their explanations. Some suggest that this isn't a supernatural event, but rather a machine or device cleverly designed to produce these smoke-like figures, adding a touch of wonder to an otherwise ordinary lake. Our journey through the mysterious realms of Trailcam captures brings us to an intriguing photograph. In this image, we encounter a creature with dark, goat-like features, its gaze fixed directly upon the camera lens. At first glance, one might dismiss it as a common goat. However, seasoned viewers of this channel are well aware of the Trailcam's uncanny ability to unveil creatures that hide beneath the guise of ordinary animals. There's an undeniable eeriness about the creature's gaze, a sensation that sends shivers down the spine, not the kind one would welcome. It evokes a peculiar sense of foreboding reminiscent of the infamous skinwalker phenomenon. As much as we'd love to tell you it's one of these, after scouring the internet we discovered that this horned ruminant is actually a real animal species. It's called the soala, and it was only discovered in Vietnam in the 1990s. Cool, huh? Next, we have security camera footage that's nothing short of intriguing. Let's have a look. In the clip, we see a quiet street in an ordinary town captured by the watchful eye of a security camera. At first glance, it's business as usual, no surprises here. But hold onto your hats because the plot thickens. Within mere seconds, the ordinary takes a spine-chilling twist. A peculiar dark figure materializes right in the middle of the road, a presence that seems almost otherworldly, and then, as swiftly as it appeared, it vanished. Sure, we live in an age of advanced technology capable of conjuring illusions with ease, but there is an unsettling quality to this footage, isn't there? Something about the way the figure vanishes in perfect sync with the approaching rider sends shivers down the spine. The footage might not have been captured in HD, but if it were doctored, we should be able to see the discrepancies, shouldn't we? Does this make this real? If it does, what was that and what was it doing in the street? Please share your thoughts with us. Still on strange and mythical creatures, take a look at this image. Looks unreal, doesn't it? But apparently it's not. The image was apparently captured in Romania by some individuals moving through the forest. It was supposed to be a day like any other until they ran into this two-headed creature. Fortunately for them, it was either lifeless or very injured, so they quickly sent for the priest, thinking it might be a Dracul or Diavolvo. Once the priest arrived, he asked them to go home, and guess what? The creature was never seen again. Bizarre, right? But what if it's not? What if there are demons in Romania and the priests are very aware? Sounds like Castlevania, does it not? This encounter certainly sounds like something straight out of a cryptozoology or paranormal thriller.
Okay, so it's something, a dog or what?
A group of people standing by the lake spot a creature on the opposite shore. At first glance, everyone agrees that it resembles a dog, which is peculiar in itself.
Oh, la verga!
However, the shocker comes when, after a few moments, the creature does something wholly unexpected. It stands up on its hind legs. This sudden transformation from a four-legged animal to a bipedal figure is enough to leave anyone dumbfounded. But as with all cryptid sightings, there's room for skepticism and further investigation. Was this truly a face-to-face encounter with the elusive dogman, or could there be a more rational explanation for this perplexing event? Tell us what you think in the comment section. Do you believe the dead still lurk around their homes and family? If you said no and actually believe it's ridiculous, how do you explain this? This photo captures a Western family of 6 in their living room, as evidenced by the television in the background. At first glance, it's a heartwarming portrayal of unity and love. However, Upon closer inspection, we notice a seventh presence. The family didn't notice this until they went over the image they had taken on the day. You might be wondering what's wrong with having grandma in the pic, right? Well, the point is, there's not to be a grandma in it, not because she wasn't invited, but because they couldn't invite her. Grandma had passed on. Yet here she was in their picture. They couldn't believe it, and it scared and excited them at the same time. The picture was uploaded online, and many shared sympathies with them. There were some, however, who believed this whole story was simply false. What say you? Next, we have footage from the mysterious world of Just Ghouly Things, which is a YouTube channel dedicated to exploring all things paranormal. In this clip, they embarked on a spine-tingling adventure at the haunted Brookstown Inn in Winston-Salem. As they ventured down the inn's creaky old stairs, the unexpected happened. One of the two suddenly slipped and tumbled unceremoniously down the steps. While the fall may look ordinary, pay attention to what she says when asked if okay.
Oh my, okay? Are you okay? I felt like something pushed me. Dude, no. Are you serious?
She states that something pushed her down. But what? Well, when you go poking your nose in an abandoned, creepy, and spooky place, you don't exactly hope to find Santa now, do you? Now, we all know that places don't earn the moniker haunted for no reason. It's like a big, flashing neon sign saying, prepare for some paranormal happenings. Either way, if what she says is true, then perhaps they encountered something paranormal. And if they did encounter something paranormal, then perhaps they should count themselves very lucky to have escaped with a mere push. Don't you think?
Oh my, okay? Are you okay? I felt like something pushed me. Dude, no.
Next, we have an eerie scene from a school in Pune, India. The footage shows us a group of students and a teacher seemingly trying to restrain a girl, but here's where it takes a hair-raising turn. The girl's body starts contorting in strange and mind-boggling ways while defying gravity. Yeah, she's actually levitating. That claim she's being possessed. Now, we've seen our fair share of orchestrated footage, but something about this sends a chill down the spine, making it hard to dismiss. So could this be a genuine case of possession, or is it just another well-crafted act? In Miami, people have been spotting these strange objects in the sky, and our next clip captures one of those situations. It looks like some sort of tank. I'm not very sure of what it is. Some say they might be surveillance balloons, perhaps part of a monitoring or security initiative, but others think it's alien-related. After some personal research, I'm convinced it's nothing more than a blimp. Julius adds that this particular one could have been designed by Goodyear. Is anyone from Miami out there to confirm this for us? On a seemingly ordinary day by the river, a group of young boys embarked on a swimming adventure, blissfully unaware of the eerie encounter that lay in wait. As they stood by the riverbank with one friend preparing to take the plunge into the water, the observer behind the camera lens noticed an unsettling presence. Amidst the picturesque backdrop of the tranquil river and dense woodland, a pale, emaciated figure emerged from the shadows, lurking ominously among the trees. In a tense moment, the observer alerted his half-naked friend to the unearthly entity lurking just behind them. As the unsuspected swimmer turned to confront this unexpected presence, the creature, realizing it had been discovered, makes a hasty escape into the depths of the woods.
Daí, pode ser bicho. E viu ela, de novo, também faz xixi aí, ó. Sai daí, mano. Você me afastar, sai daí. Sai daí. Vai lá.
While some may argue that this could be an elaborate prank orchestrated by the boys themselves, a closer look at the creature's appearance suggests otherwise. The entity in question bears little resemblance to a human, and the genuine shock and fear etched across the swimmer's face as he laid eyes on it seemed to dispel any notion of a strange hoax. This eerie encounter leaves us with more questions than answers as we grapple with the mystery of what or who exactly lurked in the woods that day. What are your thoughts on this perplexing encounter? Share them with us in the comments section. Still on strange sightings, take a look at this next footage. The footage starts with a footballer celebrating what appears to be the win of the current game they're playing. It's a moment of sheer joy as he runs deeper into the field. But pay attention to his jersey. See that? The numbers change about 3 times. Let's slow it down for a detailed look. From 18 to what seems like 2J and finally 21. Strange, isn't it? But is there an explanation for it? Well, some who saw it believe the footage is doctored, whereas others believe we could actually be dealing with yet another glitch in the Matrix. But let's take a second look at the footage. Now, what are your personal opinions about it? Tell us in the comments section. Now, let me share a tale that will send shivers down your spine. A home security camera picked up this eerie footage that has left the homeowner spooked and on edge. In the footage, the homeowner steps into her car looking for a lighter, but little does she know something ghostly is about to unfold. A spectral figure materializes out of thin air near the building, strolling across the camera's view, only to vanish into the bushes on the other side. Here's the kicker. The homeowner herself didn't witness or notice a thing. It was a furry residence, that is, her dogs, that set the alarm bells ringing. One of them even gives chase after the ghostly entity until it mysteriously fades away. What's your take on this spooky home security saga? A ghostly apparition or just a well-timed play of shadows? I don't know about you, but everyone I know hates it when toilets get clogged. But what happens when it's not your toilet, but a dam drainage? Well, you assemble your best men and start ramming it like it's no one's business. That's exactly what these men did, and after a few seconds, there was a breakthrough, literally. But you have to wonder, what kept it clogged? Well, many who saw the footage claimed many different things. One person states he can see an elk carcass come out. Another person says it's a giant chicken leg. Personally, I don't see it. I believe I'm looking at the log they are ramming the dam with. It appears to have some extra clothes at the end. Perhaps I'm seeing wrong. Can you guys tell me what you think? You know, we put up gates around our homes for a reason. Security. But it seems like even the most fortified gates can't keep the truly mysterious at bay. This time, it's a security camera that decided to spill the beans on something downright eerie. The footage starts in a quiet residential street where we are shown a perfectly good gate. Out of the blue, a shirtless man strolls into the scene. But here's the kicker. He doesn't do the usual thing like knocking or calling out for someone inside the house. No, he casually walks right through the gate like it's no more than a curtain fluttering in the breeze. Now, you might be wondering, how on earth is that even possible? Well, combining our knowledge in physics, biology, psychology, and chemistry, the answer is simple. We don't know. That leaves room for only one explanation: the paranormal. Let's dive into another spine-tingling piece of footage that'll make those goosebumps dance. Here's the setup. A dog owner out for a nighttime stroll with his trusty white pit bull playing a game of catch. He throws a green ball, and that's when the strangeness kicks in. Watch closely. As the pit bull lunges for the ball, out of the blue, a smaller black dog just materializes from thin air right beneath the pit bull. It's like a scene out of a paranormal thriller. How could something like this even happen? Take a careful look at it again. Did you see that? Could the Chihuahua have been tied to the pit bull at the start? Well, if that were the case, we would have seen it, wouldn't we? So how else do we explain what we saw? Well, we can't, unless of course the footage is doctored, which I highly doubt. But what say you? Now, we've shared and posted some strange creatures with some strange features of the months, but not many of them disturb me like what I'm about to show you. This creature was captured on a trail cam set up in areas where you would typically expect trail cams to be set up. What the owners of the trail cam didn't count on was capturing something like this. Not only does its body, especially its facial features, look weird, but it also appears to have multiple hands. The owner of the trail cam quickly reviewed captures from other trail cams in the area and found different images of a creature with 3 arms. If you look closely, however, you'll realize that the creatures in the image, although similar, are not the same. Are we looking at an invasion, or is this merely a discovery of a once-hidden species? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Let's delve into another mysterious sighting, this time caught on a trail camera deep within the woods. The image reveals a peculiar figure, and it's enough to give anyone the creeps. This tall, shirtless being sporting what appears to be black pants has some distinctive features. First and foremost, it's the extraordinary length of their legs that immediately grabs your attention. They're incredibly long, and the figure gives off an uncanny resemblance to the infamous Slender Man. The Slender Man, known for its eerie, elongated appearance, has been the stuff of nightmares in internet lore for quite some time. Whether this figure is a genuine sighting or simply a trick of light, we'll never know. On that note, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed to the channel yet, please do so now before I send that creature after you. On a more serious note, it really helps out a ton and gives us the opportunity to keep making these videos for you, so please do so and share this video with your friends and family. Thank you very much. Would an alligator ever allow a human to scratch its back? If you answered no, you're not the only person to have ever thought so. But take a look at this footage. Yes, my friends, that's a woman scratching the back of an alligator. And what's more, the alligator appears to be turning its head, probably making more room for cleaning, creating a humorous "you scratch my back and I'll scratch yours" moment. As fun and interesting as this looks, no matter what you do, never go approaching a wild alligator or crocodile to pat it or scratch its back. These creatures have a bite force that may make such an action the last thing you do with your arm. Literally. Nonetheless, this is a beautiful and interesting footage, don't you agree? For our next clip, we find ourselves amid an intriguing and atmospheric moment captured on camera in the enchanting landscapes of Scotland. The setting is adorned with the promise of a brewing storm as the dark clouds gather ready to unleash their elemental fury. Amidst this breathtaking display of nature's might, there's an unexpected coalesce, an enigmatic twist. As the ominous clouds, our attention is drawn to something truly captivating, a congregation of radiant orbs like celestial dancers circling the resplendent orange sun. This mesmerizing sight raises a series of questions that begs for answers. What could these luminous orbs signify? Are they envoys from distant galaxies, UFOs making their presence known, or perhaps is there a more terrestrial explanation, one that resides within the boundaries of understanding? Some believe so. They believe it might be nothing more than flares from divers or some military aircraft. While that sounds logical, a second look at the footage and you'll realize that there's no way it could be any of these. So what then is this? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Let's take a deep dive into a particularly intriguing tale of a cryptid encounter where a trail camera played a pivotal role in capturing an enigmatic and unusual figure. The image depicts a creature with a body that appears eerily human, yet its head is a stark contrast, resembling that of a canine, and it even boasts a tail. This cryptid discovery raises a plethora of questions. Could this strange figure be a result of some unusual genetic mutation or a rare natural occurrence that has managed to remain hidden in plain sight for centuries? Or does it represent something even more perplexing, perhaps an entity beyond our current understanding of the natural world? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Late-night surprises are often the stuff of nightmares, and here's a chilling tale of an uninvited guest that left someone far from pleased. As the homeowner looks through the glass window, they were met with a spine-tingling sight. There, just outside the house, lurked a massive dark figure. It stood tall at an astounding 7 feet, and its entire form was shrouded in a cloak of black fur. The creature's presence was ominous, blending seamlessly with the surrounding darkness, with only a pair of hauntingly glowing eyes giving it away. Now, the homeowner is convinced that this could be none other than the elusive Bigfoot, or perhaps the legendary Dogman. These cryptids have long been the subject of fascination and debate, with some claiming to have encountered them. But one question remains: is this a real-life encounter with a cryptid creature, or a simple case of mistaken identity in the dark, or perhaps even an elaborate prank? Share your thoughts with us. Have you ever walked into your office and everything was out of place, even though every single person went home? Perhaps you should watch this footage. A security camera fixed in an office captured the mysterious events that unfolded whilst everyone was away from the office. In this black and white footage, we observe one office chair following another, moving to the far end of the room. It's eerie because there's no one sitting in these chairs. They seem to move on their own. Could it be the presence of spirits that can only act under the moonlight? Well, all who saw the footage believes that's exactly what we're seeing. Others stated that it could actually be a glitch in the Matrix, but we've had a lot of them today. I call this one out to be a paranormal event. What about you? Had any such experiences? Care to share in the comments section? We'd really love to read. Have you ever pondered the concept of the Matrix? Could we all be living in a simulation? Well, watch this next clip and tell me what you think. In the clip, we see an airplane, right? But it's just hanging there in the sky, frozen in place. Now, I'm no aviation expert, but I'm pretty sure planes are supposed to move. But for some reason, this one's just chilling, defying the laws of physics. Could this be an actual glitch in the Matrix, or is it simply an optical illusion? Tell us what you think. We'd love to hear it. A home security camera captured this clip of a strange entity zooming past the cars outside. It's like a glimpse into the unknown right in the driveway. The big question now is, what in the world could that entity be? A neighborhood ghost out for a joyride, or maybe just a high-speed extraterrestrial commuter? This footage is like a snippet from the Twilight Zone caught on camera. If you haven't already hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment so far, could you please do so now? It goes a long way to help us make more of these videos for you. Thank you so much. Now back to today's episode. Now, Julius and I love wild, exotic animals, so we make it our job to search for them and adore them. But even we don't know what this is. It looks like a mix between a bat, a sloth, and a primate. On second thoughts, you could even throw a badger in the mix of animals it looks like. We did a lot of digging, and some individuals thought it might be a long-haired macaque, but our research proved it wasn't. We've done a lot of cross-referencing, and nothing is convincingly similar. Has any of you encountered anything like this? Can you help out with its name? Thanks a lot.
That is so creepy.
You've touched upon a fascinating point, one that often leaves us pondering the extent of our knowledge about the planet we call home. This particular video, captured by a resident in Anchorage, Alaska, adds yet another layer to the mystery. The haunting, trumpet-like sounds echoing from the sky as if played by a colossal instrument indeed raise questions. This footage, which surfaced in 2020, is just one of many instances of this strange phenomena plaguing the town for years. But what makes it even more intriguing is that similar sounds have been reported in various parts of the world, often without any clear explanation. The interpretations of these eerie sounds vary widely. Some view them as an ominous sign, perhaps signaling the end of days, while others take a more scientific stance, suggesting the possibility of skyquakes. But even that doesn't fully explain the situation, since skyquakes are unexplained loud booming sounds or noises that are often heard in the sky or from the atmosphere. There are no theories as to how they occur and no true explanations for them. It's a curious enigma, one that reminds us that even in our age of information, there are still mysteries that elude our understanding, leaving us with a sense of wonder and humility in the face of the unknown. Let's shift gears from the bizarre world of The Matrix to another peculiar incident. The footage was shot during a music concert. Initially, everything appears to be going smoothly until, out of nowhere, an unseen force seemed to hit the ground, sending them all tumbling backwards. Multiple people recorded this incident from different angles, and you can observe some kind of energy pushing the audience backwards. The mystery surrounding this event remains unsolved. Some speculate it might be an energy wave, while others offer a more plausible explanation. The tightly packed crowd could have been disrupted when someone in the front row fell, triggering a chain reaction much akin to toppling over dominoes. That's a reasonable theory considering the circumstances, but it might not be the definitive answer. Having seen the footage yourself, what do you believe happened there? Tell us in the comment section. Talking of different, a guy finds himself in the underground piping, and the big question is, how in the world did he end up there? Did he leap a large drain or perhaps attempt a daring self-flush down the toilet? The good news is no one got hurt, and the guy was safely removed from the pipe. But the mystery remains. What's the origin story of this unexpected plumbing expedition? Next, we have a clip of two motorcyclists cruising down the road, one with a camera capturing the journey. The twist? The camera-wielding rider overtakes his friend and rides ahead, but when he stops to check on his buddy, there is no sign of him, just the lone motorcycle cruising behind. Where could the missing rider have gone? Did he take an unexpected detour, or is there a more extraterrestrial explanation like an alien abduction? There have been stories of people getting taken away in broad daylight by aliens for unknown reasons. Maybe this is just one of them. What do you think? Next, let's venture into the world of paranormal investigations. Two brave souls from the YouTube channel Haunted Nights decided to explore the eerie Broadwell Funeral Home in Felicity, Ohio. Little did they know they'd capture something rather peculiar. Amid their investigation, as one of them stands before the camera chattering away about the spooky surroundings, something unexpected saunters by in the background. Blink and you might miss it, but it's there. Now this entity is a bit of a mystery, isn't it? From what we can discern, it's pretty distant, making it challenging to pinpoint its exact features. However, it does seem to have an ethereal quality to it, a ghostly presence, if you will. They have a seance later, and whatever paranormal being that was communicates with them. So could this be one of the elusive spirits that call this haunted place home? I'm tempted to believe so. What would you do if you were in their position? Would you continue to explore, or would you get the hell out of the place? Let's journey back in time to Italy, where an intriguing incident unfolded on a serene beach. A resident, while taking in the coastal view, was startled to witness a perplexing phenomenon. In a matter of minutes, the tranquil waters that once graced the shoreline began to recede, leaving behind only stretches of bare sand. This unanticipated event prompted questions about our collective actions and their consequences for our beloved planet. It serves as a stark reminder of the delicate balance within Earth's natural systems and the potential repercussions of human activity on the environment. The complex interplay between various factors, including climate change, ocean currents, and geological processes, can occasionally manifest in these unusual occurrences. Our next mysterious footage was captured in Scotland, where the forest ground appears to be undulating, almost as if it were breathing. This has left viewers both fascinated and perplexed. The video was recorded after Storm Babette, which brought strong winds to the area and introduces a possible link between the weather conditions and a peculiar phenomenon observed in the forest. Look at how the dog was effortlessly lifted when it stood on the moving earth. This is so strange. Some speculate that the storm's impact on the soil and trees contributed to this unusual movement, creating a visual illusion reminiscent of breathing. Some even took a more fantastical approach, saying that the forest is a sleeping giant. Reminds me of the sleeping giant seen from Puss in Boots. In folklore and mythology, various cultures have ascribed spiritual or sentient qualities to nature. The concept of a sleeping giant, in this case, suggests that the forest possesses a dormant or slumbering essence, awakening in a manner reminiscent of breathing. But having seen it with your own eyes, what do you think this could be? In this riveting footage, a group on a boat expedition through the forest stumble upon a celestial enigma. However, hovering in the skies was a dark ethereal mass reminiscent of smoke surrounded by a flurry of birds. The air was thick with intrigue, and the observers must have felt a shiver of awe and wonder. Could this mysterious floating entity be a natural phenomenon, a play of light and shadow, or does it harbor a more supernatural essence? Some might speculate on atmospheric conditions, while others might entertain the possibility of an otherworldly presence. What are your thoughts on this puzzling encounter? Smoke signals from the cosmos, or nature's dance of light and shade? Arizona is a place known for its breathtaking landscapes and, well, a fair share of intriguing tales. Now, in Mogollon, they've got quite the reputation when it comes to stories of Bigfoot sightings, so when these peculiar sounds started echoing through the area, you can bet the locals were curious. These eerie, howling sounds started in the dead of night, echoing all over the town. If you pay close attention, you'll realize that the howls are a bit deeper and more resonant than your average wolf or coyote. Knowing it couldn't be any of these dangerous predators, the people in the neighborhood started suspecting that the sound was coming from a Bigfoot. It was either Bigfoot or an animal in the area that had all of a sudden developed a knack for theatrics. While there's no way to confirm what it is, we can say with certainty that we loved this footage. What about you? Now, we have had creepy videos in today's episode, but this next one makes my heart skip a beat. Not because the subject was a demon, but rather because they were humans trying to hurt another. Just watch. At first glance, this video seems unremarkable. A lady in blue appears to be making a purchase from the lady behind the wooden counter dressed in black. It looks like ice cream and they engage in conversation. We don't hear what they discuss, but pay attention to the man a few meters from them. He appears to be stalking the lady or just patiently waiting for her, and the seller recognizes that. Once the young girl leaves the woman, the man in question says this to whomever he's talking to on the phone. "I'm prepared to sacrifice my life." The lady in black notices something is wrong, especially because the black car's door is open, and quickly rushes to the side of the little girl. In that moment, it becomes apparent the man was going to push the young girl in and rush off with her. Does that not scare you? It's scary to think they were planning to carry out something like this in broad daylight. Kudos to the older woman for sticking out for the young lady. I don't know how many individuals would be that selfless in today's dangerous world. Please take care of yourselves out there. We love you too much to lose you. We have reviewed a lot of Bigfoot footage in our day, but never have we seen one so odd and bizarre looking. What's more, it appears to have eyes glowing in the dark. Naturally, this footage had a mixed reception. Some claimed it was definitely real, as its facial movements were very realistic. Some also claimed that it didn't look like a normal Bigfoot. I expected the division to end on the platforms, but it continued to our office. My team members are actually divided on what this could be. So, could you share your thoughts? Do you think this is really a Bigfoot? If it's not, then what do you think it is? Up in the sky, high above the clouds, a chopper rider had a jaw-dropping encounter with a peculiar craft. This thing was no ordinary aircraft. It was circular in shape and zipping through the sky at a blistering speed. It was a sight to behold, and it left everyone on board the chopper scratching their heads in wonder. Now, when faced with such an inexplicable sight, the mind starts racing with possibilities. Is it some kind of advanced drone executing a top-secret mission? Could it be a satellite orbiting high above? Or does this fit the classic description of a UFO, an unidentified flying object? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. And now here's a true mystery to ponder. This image was sent in by a subscriber who states he's had over 30 trail cams for about 10 years, yet has been left puzzled by this capture on one of his cams. He wants us to help him identify it, and we thought, well, who better to do so than our audience who double as wildlife experts? In the image, we see what looks like the back of a creature. Can you identify it? Do you know its name and species? Do you know any rare facts about it? If you do, then your task is simple. Name what it is, give us a rare fact about it, and we'll review it. If you're indeed right, your name shall be immortalized among the few names of individuals on this channel who have succeeded in identifying our bonus content. When writing out your answer, start with bonus footage so we easily identify it among the comments. The answer with the most accurate description with the most convincing reason will win a feature in our next video. All the best. We find ourselves in another captivating moment, this time brought to us by a curious observer from the realms of Reddit. The scene unfolds against the backdrop of a mountainous landscape where our eyes are drawn to an enigmatic phenomenon. In the footage, a luminous presence graces the side of the mountain, casting its brilliant glow into the night. Then, as if guided by some ethereal force, this radiant entity undergoes a sudden transformation. It ignites, erupting into a burst of light, illuminating the surroundings in a celestial display. However, the strangeness doesn't end there. Just as swiftly as it emerged, this mysterious orb disintegrates, vanishing into the shroud of the night. What could explain this event? Is it a natural occurrence, a celestial phenomenon, or perhaps something we just can't understand? Some members of the paranormal community believe it's caused by a being materializing in our plane, while some in the common sense, aka the logical folks, believe it's just some power lines short-circuiting, causing the sparks and eventual flames. Which of them do you think is most plausible? Share your thoughts with us. What would you do if you ran into a ginormous creature? What would you do? If you said run for dear life, I'd consider it a normal response, but the man in the next footage did the opposite. Watch. In this clip, the recorder is strategically positioned to capture an intriguing sight within the vast forested area. Tall, lush green trees dominate the landscape, creating a serene yet mysterious backdrop. While the video maintains a sense of quietude, it's apparent that the recorder is dedicated to documenting the unfolding scene. As the video unfolds, a figure comes into view from a few strides away. This figure is of considerable height, estimated to be between 10 and 12 feet tall. Its appearance is notably dark and covered in hair, bearing a striking resemblance to the legendary creature known as Bigfoot. The figure moves purposefully down the trail with an expressionless demeanor, seemingly unfazed by any events or surroundings. This enigmatic sighting raises intriguing questions. Is this indeed a genuine encounter with Bigfoot, a creature steeped in folklore and myth? Or could it possibly be a well-executed costume or mascot designed to mimic the iconic creatures? If you thought that was weird, take a look at this next footage. See anything unusual in the footage? No? Well, let's give it another look. If you're having trouble spotting anything unusual, focus on the top left of the footage. Notice those strange, unsettling movements in the top left. Do they seem natural to you? Well, the uploader is convinced these movements are far from ordinary. He saw movements resembling a face and speculated that an otherworldly creature might be stalking the deer, possibly with a sinister intent. Unsure, he posted it online, seeking the opinions of other Trailcam owners, and, of course, the members of the paranormal community responded. To them, whatever that is, it's anything but normal. Their suspicion? A dogman lurking in the shadows, eyeing the deer as its next meal. Take a third look at the footage. You can't fault them for thinking that. After all, does it not look like there's a real predator lurking in the shadows? The video was tagged as a modern dogman sighting, and this naturally caused it to blow up. On the flip side, some Trailcam experts dismissed the dogman theory as unnecessary. To them, the creature was nothing more than a squirrel moving in the tree. After closely examining the footage, I can understand their perspective, but what's your take? Do you also see the dogman, or is it simply a case of mistaken identity? Our next footage is what I like to consider a rarity among the rare. Take a look. It's as though an unseen force, a celestial presence hidden behind the pristine white clouds, exhales a gentle breath. This ethereal exhale triggers a remarkable phenomenon: the detachment of a cloud from its companions. The cloud appears to drift away, moving independently against the sky's canvas. What could possibly lead to such an enchanting occurrence? Are we truly witnessing celestial beings interacting with the clouds? Well, apparently not. According to experts, this happens more often than we know. It's nothing more than a crown flash. If you're just as confused as I was when I heard it, allow me to explain. A crown flash is a type of optical phenomenon that can occur during thunderstorms or other atmospheric conditions. It involves a brief and localized change in the appearance of lightning, usually near the top of a thunderstorm cloud. This phenomenon could take the form of a series of flashes or a circular or crown-shaped pattern of light. If that confused you, don't worry. I will start a science channel soon for us to learn about these strange things. Dragons are those mythical creatures that have fired up our imagination for centuries. They've taken on various forms in folklore and tales from different cultures, but do they truly exist? Now let's dive into some intriguing footage that's been making the rounds on the internet. The footage shows a peculiar dragon-like creature lifeless on the ground. At first glance, it might appear to be some sort of eel, but a closer look and you'll notice it has some rather dragon-like features. Spikes along its tail and those long antenna-like structures on its head certainly add to the mystique. So here's the big question. Is this a well-crafted hoax, a peculiar eel, or perhaps just the remains of a real-life dragon? A part of me wants to lean toward the option of it being real because I'd, of course, want proof that dragons existed. Thinking about it a second time, I'd rather it wasn't real, though. What about you? Have you ever taken a walk down a dark path and instantly regretted it? Well, I know I have, but I doubt it in any way compares to the next footage I'm about to show you. What do you think that creature is? Well, if you are clueless, then you aren't the only one. At first glance, it might seem like a mountain lion, but after a few seconds, you'll notice it's longer than any mountain lion should be. It almost looks like a human being moving on all fours, albeit without any human-like features. Many who saw the footage believed it was a skinwalker, and the uploader seems to think so too. He mentions that there are many legends of skinwalkers in the area, but it was not until he encountered what you were seeing on your screen that he started to believe that the legends might be true. That's his personal assertion, though. What do you see when you look at the footage? Do you see a skinwalker too, or are we simply blowing things out of proportion? Share your thoughts with us in the comments sections. We'd love to hear them. What do you think that being is? Before you move any further, pause the video and write what you think it is in the comments section so we can confirm after. Moving on, what do you think it was? What did you write? Yes, the capture looks like the image of some wraith taken very late at night, but what if I told you it's none of these things? What if I told you there was actually a logical explanation for what you see? Well, there actually is. The figure captured in the video is nothing more than a man in a ghillie suit. For many of you, this might be a new term, but it's actually commonly used by the military to blend in with natural surroundings and vegetation during missions. This is the explanation for its bizarre look. At first glance, one might think this certainly has to be a humanoid creature that emerged from the deepest parts of the sea, but thankfully it's not. How was it captured on a Trailcam then? Well, the Trailcam that captured this might probably be located in a military zone used for training. Imagine not knowing about this and waking up to a dozen of these on your trail camera. You might think aliens are taking over the world or something, which is exactly what the owner of this Trailcam footage thought. Thankfully, though, it looks like we are free, at least for the next few decades, until we truly encounter some alien species. That's if they exist. Dive into the realm of the uncanny with this peculiar moment caught on camera. A man was sitting on a motorbike with his back turned to the camera when all of a sudden you see him getting off the bike to sit properly on it. But wasn't he already sitting on the bike? A closer look and you'd realize there was something strange about the way he was sitting. So how did he ride the bike if he was seated like that? Well, no one knows, and it's left many to speculate. Some even think the whole thing is nothing but a glitch in the Matrix. You've seen it, right? What's your take on this surreal scene? These days, all you hear is aliens, aliens, aliens. People spotting extraterrestrial creatures here and there. Take a look at this footage. Gravediggers dig up a grave expecting some valuables, but what do they find? A tall, gray alien, eyes wide open. Now here's where it gets unsettling. The creature starts moving. The big questions hit you like a UFO sighting. How long has this otherworldly visitor been enjoying a nap in the grave, and what in the universe could explain its sudden wake-up call?
Wow. We're definitely getting closer.
Like really close.
In this intriguing nighttime footage, it appears to have been captured by a group of friends venturing into the wilderness. The recorder's commentary suggests a casual and carefree attitude. However, as the video unfolds, it takes on an eerie and unsettling tone.
Oh my stick. I thought it was another one of those skull things.
I think we should try to find its base camp.
The initial discovery of bloodstains on the ground prompts a reaction from the recorder, signaling the group's growing unease. As they continue their journey, their path leads them to an enigmatic site obscured by a cluster of leaf-like structures, which further heightens the suspense.
What is that? Is that a brain?
Stop.
A pivotal moment occurs when they pause, and the camera captures vertical sources of light seemingly levitating nearby.
Look at this.
This development elicits fear and astonishment from the explorers, causing them to express their horror of what they're witnessing. In their haste to escape, the camera inadvertently captures what appears to be a skeletal figure holding a source of illumination. The authenticity of this footage remains a subject of debate. While some viewers might believe it to be genuine, others might suspect it to be staged or manipulated. Ultimately, the decision about its authenticity is open to interpretation, and it's left many questioning whether it represents a real encounter with the supernatural or a cleverly crafted piece of storytelling. Let us know what you think about the whole thing in the comments section. What do you think this is? If you said dragon, I wouldn't blame you because that's exactly what came to mind when I saw these remains. The discovered remains exhibit a strikingly large number of bones resembling the skeletal structure of an enormous sea snake or serpent-like creature. I mean, how many creatures do you know that look like that? If it was an isolated incident, well, we could call it a hoax. But in recent discovery in the Yucatan Peninsula, explorers have reported the unearthing of peculiar remains that some believe may be linked to ancient sea creatures, often mythologized as dragons. These remarkable findings have led to various speculations within the scientific community and the general public. The Yucatan Peninsula, known for its diverse geological formations, has previously yielded fossils dating back to the Ice Age. Could these be the necessary proof that dragons existed in the region back then? I mean, we have got the fossils, and then we have got the Chinese lore on these creatures. There's no way it's just a mere coincidence now, is it? Share your thoughts. Whilst out with his kids, a man came across this: clouds on the ground. Now, I don't know how this is possible, but that's what we see. Strange, if you ask me. Naturally, when this popped up online, people were shocked, and that led to some rather interesting theories concerning the footage. Some thought it was part of a government spy aircraft cloud camouflage. Sounds crazy at first, but when you think about it, it's quite possible, wouldn't you agree? Some also proposed an alternative perspective, suggesting that it could be a byproduct of a toxic substance in the sky. This theory raises concerns about environmental and health implications if that's true, but there's no way of determining that now, is there? After all, some who saw it are dismissing the footage as a hoax, attributing the cloud-like formation to ordinary cotton. Yet upon closer scrutiny, the transparency of the anomaly challenges the notion that it could be a mere cotton formation. Could it be pure CGI, or is there something else at play here? I think I'll leave that up to you to decide.
No, there it goes. Finally, I knew I shouldn't go in. Everything was telling me not to go in, that I needed to be recording.
In Winston-Salem, a woman came out one evening for some fresh air when she noticed something strange going on with the clouds. Lights were blinking on and off behind the clouds. She said initially the clouds with the lights blinking were above her head. The lights, which were initially blue, changed color as they moved further ahead of her. The color changed to orange. As weird as this is, it was not the weirdest part. There was a long, lingering, heavy feeling that they just couldn't get rid of. This mysterious event leaves both the observer and curious onlookers grappling with various questions. What could be the source of these peculiar lights behind the clouds? Is it a natural phenomenon, an atmospheric anomaly, or perhaps something more enigmatic? These are questions we may never truly have official answers to, but in the meantime, feel free to share your thoughts. Just a quick reminder before the next clip comes, if you still haven't liked, commented, or subscribed, could you do so right now? Thank you very much. In this eerie video, an explorer ventures into an abandoned house, capturing moments in what appears to be an underground passageway. Armed with a source of light, he carefully examines the house only to have a ghostly apparition seemingly materialize behind him. The figure emerges, seemingly out of nowhere, creating a chilling presence. The explorer's reaction suggests that he felt an unusual presence or contact, even though he initially saw nothing when he turned around. This mysterious figure reappears near a black door. It's only upon reviewing the camera footage that he becomes aware of what he captured when his focus is elsewhere. Experiences like this can be unsettling and often lead to questions about the existence of ghosts or spirits. Some might interpret such encounters as tricks of light and shadow, while others may find them compelling evidence of the supernatural. Belief in the paranormal varies among individuals, and experiences like these continue to spark debates and discussions about the unexplained. From your perspective, what explanation will you give to the whole thing? Tell us in the comments section, as we'd love to know. If you still haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do it now? Thank you very much. It means a lot to us and allows us to create more content like this. Moving on to the next clip. If you thought things couldn't get any creepier, oh boy, are you wrong. Imagine walking into the woods and coming across this. In this footage, we stumble upon a truly bizarre find in broad daylight, an enigmatic miniature figure carved from wood, or possibly a dried-up creature. Its features are like anything we've ever seen before. 4 small breasts, a round head, hat-like ears, extra toes, and curled fingers. Based on its rigid and unmoving appearance, it's highly likely that this is a statue or a piece of art deliberately placed in the woods. The figure's purpose and origin remain shrouded in mystery, leaving us with a plethora of intriguing questions. Naturally, the explorer who came across it wanted to investigate some more, but the eerie presence and nature of the figure discouraged him. This caused him to leave the area with more questions than answers. We're relieved he prioritized his safety, but the mystery of what this figure is and why it's in the woods still intrigues us. Do you have an idea? Do you have answers? Please share in the comments section, as we'd really love to crack this enigma. Thank you in advance. Let's delve into a rather perplexing situation that unfolded before a vigilant observer. This gentleman found himself in the familiar setting of his car stationed outside a store, patiently awaiting the return of his friend who was shopping inside.
She's stuck in the same pattern. She's done this 5 or 6 times.
Yet, this seemingly mundane wait took a surreal turn when he noticed an unusual occurrence. In the vicinity of his car was another vehicle, its sole occupant, a mysterious woman, caught in what appeared to be a continuous and repetitive loop, extending for nearly an hour. Struck by a mixture of shock and curiosity, our protagonist made the daring decision to venture into the store and seek out this lady, hoping to free her from the grip of this peculiar trance. Remarkably, it seemed as though his efforts bore fruit. However, the story takes a rather disconcerting twist. Several hours later, the same woman reappeared, this time in the company of another lady who may be a daughter of hers, leaving the gentleman deeply perplexed. Now here lies the enigma. Was it the woman who was ensnared in a bewildering cycle, or was it the man himself who found himself trapped in an inexplicable loop, witnessing the same events unfold repeatedly? We invite you, O astute audience of ours, to share your conjectures and musings in the comments section below. Did you catch what he saw before taking off? It looked like some sort of tiny creature with a small head and some beady eyes. It has an otherworldly appearance, almost like a pixie from the dark realms. As much as I'd love to have footage of one of those creatures, one thing's for sure, there's no Tinkerbell in that creature. That leaves us with a myriad of questions. What exactly is that creature? Why was it hiding in the tree? Are there many more of them? Do they have powers? And should we be wary of them? These and many more are questions we may never get answers to, but what thinkest thou? What do you think we're dealing with? Have you had an encounter with one of these creatures? Please share in the comments. We're eager to hear your thoughts. In the annals of mysterious and unexplained phenomena, the appearance of strange beings, especially those reminiscent of aliens, tends to capture our imagination. The year 2019 brought forth a curious piece of footage from the heart of Brazil that has left many intrigued. In the video, we see a peculiar, pale and black-eyed creature. Its appearance is undeniably otherworldly, and it appears to be engaging with a Trailcam curiously. As with many such sightings, there's room for skepticism, with some suggesting it might be a well-executed hoax, possibly involving a person in an elaborate costume or skillful CGI. However, considering the vastness of the universe and our limited understanding of it, one can't help but wonder if there might be a fraction of truth to such sightings. What do you think? If you made it this far and haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do that before we go on? Thank you very much, as it means a lot. Moving back to today's episode. In this intriguing video, a courageous man finds himself in an undisclosed location, standing amidst a vast landscape with an abundance of lush green plants. However, the particular area where he's standing appears to be barren, with only a green sack in his hand. What makes this scene all the more remarkable is the action that unfolds next. The man upends the sack, causing a collection of snakes to spill out on the ground. Without hesitation, he discards the sack, crouches down, and proceeds to handle the snakes with his bare hands. As he does so, the snakes quickly disperse in various directions. The exact location of this video and the specific species of snakes involved remain undisclosed, leaving viewers with a sense of mystery. The man's audacious act of handling these snakes bare-handed is indeed an alarming sight to behold, and it raises numerous questions. What motivated him to undertake this endeavor, and what message or symbolism might be associated with this unusual act? Was he aided by some voodoo, or is it purely skill? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Now this is strange. On a chicken farm, one of the workers spotted this strange-looking chicken. It had the body of a chicken, but its head looked like a dog with ears and all. How is this even possible? Now, I'm not an expert in genetics, but as far as I know, chickens and dogs weren't exactly swapping body parts for fun. Are we witnessing some kind of secret hybrid experiment gone wrong, or is this just Mother Nature having a quirky day? I'm genuinely curious. Would you be more intrigued or terrified to come across a chicken with a dog's head on your farm? Now hold on to your seats, because here's yet another instance of what could be a real-life Matrix glitch. Take a look at this footage.
Plane. Is it moving? It's not moving.
You can distinctly hear the sound of some sort of craft, as if it's cruising along. But guess what? It's frozen in place like it hit an invisible wall or something.
Sounds like it's moving.
I mean, seriously, is this scientifically feasible? Shouldn't the laws of physics have something to say about it? Or are we witnessing a slip in the cosmic code that governs our reality? It's a perplexing puzzle, that's for sure. For us, coming across two planes like this is nothing short of a rare occurrence, yet it's a highly welcomed one. Have you had any experiences like this or even seen footage similar to this one? Please share it. Birds are very jumpy animals, and the slightest movement could get them flying away. So tell me why this little birdie hopped on this rider's bicycle in the woods. It was almost as if this chirpy avian had some kind of message. Maybe it thought our cyclist had overstayed their welcome, like the woodland guardian saying, "Hey buddy, the forest isn't your personal hangout spot." Or perhaps this was Mother Nature's reminder that we humans are just visitors in her grand domain. Who knows what went on in the mind of that little bird? Maybe it fancied the bicycle as the latest and avian-approved purchase. Late one night on a quiet, secluded farm, a farmer was stirred from his sleep by a commotion among his animals. Worried about their well-being, he quickly made his way to the source of the disturbance. Under the soft glow of the moon, he was met with an odd and unexpected sight. There, in the midst of his farm, stood a peculiar creature. It bore a resemblance to an emaciated baboon, its fur unkempt and tangled. The creature seemed agitated, hopping about in a manner that suggested it was disorientated or frightened. This was no ordinary encounter, and the farmer couldn't help but wonder about the identity of this mysterious being. Was it a lost animal, or perhaps something more enigmatic, a denizen of the night that rarely ventured in a human territory? Unsure what the answer might be, he posted it online to gather the opinions, thoughts, and feelings from the online community. Some thought it was only a baboon, others an otherworldly creature. When it comes to my team and me, the responses are mixed as well. We need a tiebreaker. What do you guys think it is? Tell us in the comments section. If you thought that was odd, then the next footage will certainly rustle some feathers. Ever since the It and Joker characters made it through mainstream media, people have become very wary of clowns, and this footage is one of many that will send a shiver down your spine. According to the uploader, a security camera set on private property captured the bizarre situation. In the middle of the night, a strange person in a clown mask and a hoodie is seen walking straight to the camera holding a syringe. The motives of this person remain a mystery, and his identity as well, making this whole situation very disturbing. I would like to console myself by thinking that this is just some kind of Halloween prank, but it's not. Take a look at the syringe in his hands also. If there's anything to take away from this video, it's that this homeowner should be very careful. Next is a video clip of a couple who are on a mission to uncover the paranormal. In this particular footage, they're on a bridge in the late hours of the night. Armed with a recorder and a flashlight, this couple discover an oddity on the bridge, a white rope dangling into the depths. The person with the light and recorder moves closer, shining the light in the direction of the dangling rope. Out of curiosity, they begin to pull it up, and to their astonishment, a head is attached to the other end. As they reel in the rope, they discover a head with red liquid writing that reads, "Do you see me?" The eerie discovery should have terrified anyone out exploring in the dead of night. Surprisingly, the couple appears unfazed by this chilling experience. Now, are you thinking what I'm thinking? If you are, then you're probably wondering if they could be in mortal danger. I'm concerned, but my team believes it's a hoax. They think the couple prearranged this by attaching a male mannequin's head with a white robe for content. Which do you think it is? Have you ever heard of someone coming across a white Bigfoot? If you answered no, then it's clearly because you haven't seen our next clip. In this clip, an explorer named Carpenter was on a quest in the woods, and as is normal for all explorers, he documented his journey. At some point in his exploration, he felt he was being watched. The creature that was stalking him was definitely trying to hide from him. Being the cunning explorer he is, he finds a way to film and capture it. What he saw was a large, white-haired creature skillfully hiding among the trees. Taking multiple looks at the creature, he concluded that the creature was none other than Bigfoot. Are there white Bigfoots, though? Not as far as we know. We only know of the snow cousin of the Bigfoot, which is the Yeti, but this doesn't look like it was captured on a snow-covered mountain. Without more conclusive evidence, it's challenging to definitely identify the creature in the video. Some people might interpret it as Bigfoot, while others may offer alternative explanations or consider it inconclusive. What's your conclusion? During a visit to an animal park, a group of tourists came across a rather unusual sight involving a giraffe. At first glance, it appears as if this giraffe was attempting to challenge the lion's claim to the jungle throne, sporting what looked like a crown atop its head. However, upon closer inspection, a different, more concerning reality emerged. The tourists soon realized that this giraffe wasn't vying for royal status. Instead, it seemed to be suffering from some kind of growth or tumor on its head, with a noticeable hole at its center. This peculiar condition could be the result of various factors, including a virus infection or even a birth defect. One can't help but feel empathy for this creature, hoping that it receives the care and attention it needs to recover or manage its condition. Does any one of you know what's happening? Please pray to tell. We'd love to know. Our next footage takes us to a garage. Who knew that the garage could become the place of nightmares? Wondering what I'm talking about? Well, watch this footage. Armed with a flashlight and a camera, an unknown individual ventures into a cluttered garage. Inside the garage, there's an established wooden structure for storing materials and equipment. It's unknown if he knew something weird was there, but judging by his movement, he might have. As he points his light at one of the wooden cabinets, a creature's head pops up. I was tempted to think it might be a monkey of sorts, but taking a second look, I doubt that's what we have here. And if it was a monkey, I doubt the one filming would have moved away as fast as he did. So what exactly could this be? You tell me. Here's a heartwarming scene that proves even the mightiest of creatures can have a soft side. Movies make rhinos out to be imposing and often have an aggressive demeanor. While that may be true, sometimes it only happens when they are provoked. In most cases, they're quietly minding their own business, and a particular rhino seems to be the mellowest of them all. As it goes about its evening duties, munching a thing or two here and there, a tiny companion takes advantage of the opportunity and perches itself comfortably on the rhino's back. Now, there could be a couple of explanations for this unlikely friendship. You might be thinking that the rhino is simply too focused on its meal to notice the daring hitchhiker, or perhaps it's having an exceptionally good day and decided to share some warmth and company. But this happens more often than not. Have you heard of symbiotic or commensal relationships? Sometimes smaller animals like domestic cats may climb on or sit near rhinos or other large animals in captivity or wildlife reserves. This behavior is not driven by the rhino's consent, but rather the result of the cat's natural curiosity or seeking warmth or shelter. It's essential to remember that these interactions can be risky for the smaller animals if the larger animal becomes agitated or defensive, and that's why you must always avoid encroaching on the personal space of these wild beasts. While driving through the woods, an unusual sight confronted this person. Two figures walking ahead of their car. At first glance, these figures appear to be ordinary humans, two girls, to be precise. The driver's curiosity got the best of them, and they decided to park the car, intending to inquire about what these girls were doing in the woods at such an hour. However, when the girls turned to face the driver, something deeply unsettling unfolded. These beings, with their backs initially turned, appeared to lack facial features altogether. Their entire bodies emitted an eerie, otherworldly glow. It was as if they were luminous entities from beyond our realm. Startled by this inexplicable and unsettling encounter, the driver wasted no time in hastily departing from the scene, leaving behind a lingering question. Were these glowing beings aliens, spectral entities, or something else entirely? Tell us what you think in the comments section. In the world of mysterious sightings, this one truly stands out as a head-scratcher. Out in the woods, a creature with an otherworldly appearance was spotted, leaving observers both baffled and intrigued. The creature's features are a bewildering blend of the familiar and the bizarre. It possesses piercing eyes with dark pupils reminiscent of a predator, while its body takes on the form of a lizard. However, the head is where things take an eerie turn, resembling that of a hairless human with its distinct eyes and nose. To further confound, it sports 3 fingers on each hand, each adorned with sharp, menacing claws. Perhaps most intriguingly, this enigmatic being exhibits a spine covered in what appears to be scale-like structures that continue down its tail. The overall effect is that of a science experiment gone wrong, but there's also the possibility that it's an elaborate hoax. What do you think? This next footage from the woods holds more intrigue than meets the eye. While the camera explores every nook and cranny, it captures a creature lurking behind a distant tree. Seemingly on the prowl for dinner, the camera unveils an ape-like creature, its beard a striking feature in the moonlight. Possibly standing at around 7 feet tall, sporting a robust torso, glowing eyes, and black fur, it quickly ducks and swiftly takes cover behind the nearest tree upon realizing it's been discovered. Perhaps it's thinking, why are these creatures after me? Or perhaps something more sinister like, let's lure him in. Either way, the one filming doesn't pursue. Instead, he's left wondering, what was that? Do you have an answer? Tell us in the comments section. Trail cameras, the ever-watchful eyes of the wilderness, capturing moments both sublime and bizarre. But this next footage takes the cake in terms of unexpected revelations. Imagine being the owner of a Trailcam, eagerly retrieving it one day, only to discover something you never anticipated. In the cold, unforgiving darkness of the night, the camera reveals a scene that seems almost too surreal to be true. An inmate, in a desperate bid for freedom, is caught in the act of trying to escape from incarceration. A subscriber of the channel sent it in, and he stated that they didn't understand what they were looking at until the individual was arrested later. If this is proof of anything, it's that the unexpected can happen even in the most unlikely places. Trailcams, once reserved for documenting the secrets of the natural world, have now started recording inmates escaping from jail. Who knows what else we may start capturing on these cams? A big shout out to the subscriber who sent this in. We can't wait to have the rest of you starting to send in footage. I can't imagine what y'all are also capturing on your trail and security cams. In the midst of all the mysterious and enigmatic Trailcam captures we often come across, it's refreshing to stumble upon something that brings a smile to our faces. So here we have this deer, quite literally making the best of its moment in the spotlight. Just take a closer look at the picture and you'll see a majestic creature with its tongue playfully sticking out, striking a pose that's nothing short of adorable. It's almost as if this deer decided it was time to give the paparazzi, in this case the Trailcam, a taste of its modeling prowess. You have to admit, he's beautiful, isn't he? This Trailcam footage indeed presents a puzzling scenario with several elements at play. Initially, it appears to capture a group of deer feasting on their night ration with glowing eyes, a phenomenon often attributed to the reflection of light from the camera. However, the intriguing aspect of this footage lies in a distant source of illumination that appears much later. The distant light source does indeed resemble a human head, and it's wrapped in what seems like a transparent covering. The most common assumption for such an occurrence might be that it's an unidentified flying object or an apparition of some kind. To arrive at a more conclusive understanding of this enigmatic footage, further analysis and investigation are necessary. Without additional context or information, it remains a mysterious occurrence open to interpretation and speculation. The uploader believes it's alien, and I'm tempted to side with him. What say you, alien or something entirely different? Tell us your thoughts in the comment section. Now, in our previous bonus footage, we took the mystery for our bonus footage up a notch, and we want to maintain it. Can you identify the creature in that Trailcam capture? If you can, head over to the comments section and tell us. The first accurate comment could win a feature in one of our upcoming videos. Trust me when I tell you this is an opportunity you don't want to miss. Start your comment with bonus footage so we easily see it. All the best. On November the 22nd at precisely 11:36 a.m., we captured a rare sight that might make you wonder if it's someone practicing voodoo. That's definitely not normal, right? If you know anything about horror movies, you know this particular scene is nothing more than a horrid sight. I mean, how else do you describe a scene of hundreds, if not thousands, of blackbirds on your farm? Could something ominous have happened while the owner of the land was away? Has the owner performed some evil rites that necessitate the visits of these birds, or am I just reading meanings into things that don't exist? Personally, I don't think so. I think there's more to this than meets the eye. Don't you? Dinosaurs are extinct, right? I mean, it's a basic fact and everyone knows it. Our next clip, however, challenges that hypothesis. Watch. In the dead of night, the video reveals a tree and a source of light, but what steals the show is the sudden appearance of a figure that moves in a way reminiscent of an extinct dinosaur. The creature seems to have its head held high and its tail wagging, much like a dinosaur's motion. However, dinosaurs are widely believed to be extinct for millions of years. Some experts think the figure in the video could be something else entirely, possibly a small dog. They think the quality of the footage makes it appear the way it does, something along the lines of an optical illusion. The footage was captured by Christina Ryan's security camera, and she refuses to believe it's not a dinosaur. She's very convinced that the creature is a raptor. What do you think, though? Share your thoughts and speculations in the comments section. Wandering through the woods can often lead to an assortment of unexpected experiences, some more unnerving than others. Such was the case for a woman who found herself in a spine-tingling situation deep within the forest.
What the f is that? What is that?
Oh, it's moving. No. Okay, no.
A woman was walking through the woods when she started to hear strange noises coming from a hollow space surrounded by trees. Typically, that should be a sign to get the hell out of there. But this woman was feeling pretty brave that day, so she took out her camera to film. Within a few seconds of filming, her lens landed on a strange dark figure perched by a tree trunk in the darkness. She stood to look at it for a while. That only lasted until the creature moved slightly, which was enough to scare and get her running away from it. In my opinion, I think it was the best choice because although that thing was not visible, it gave me this chilling feeling of being hunted. But you have to wonder, what exactly is that thing? It didn't exactly have a discernible face. Do you think this is another science experiment gone wrong, or are there creatures like this in the wild we have yet to discover? Share your thoughts with us, as we'd love to hear them. Imagine you set up a trail cam in the woods to capture, say, deer, cougars, or whatever it is you're into. You review the captures from the trail cam only to see it only had pictures of a creature that looked like this. Tell me you see it. A weird-looking humanoid in what appears to be a suit. If this were near the city or a town, you could say perhaps someone wandered into the woods. But what if we told you this was captured deep in the woods where no humans lived? Do I have your attention now? This is one bit of footage that sends shivers down the spine. While we often tell ourselves curiosity kills the cat and live in the moment, understanding this footage is something we must do. The figure in the footage dons a long-sleeved shirt with buttons, although the original color remains unknown. I mean, we could speculate, but it won't be accurate. The shirt is opened all the way down. What's truly unsettling is the appearance of its hand. Though it appears blurry, it seems to be holding onto the rock. Either that or the hand is deformed, and what's more, it's got blood stains over its fingers. To the explorers on this channel, does this make you think twice about venturing into the unknown? But you have to wonder, what exactly are we dealing with? With many possibilities popping up in my head, I can only pass the baton down to you. What do you think this is? Our next footage features a desolate slump with its waterlogged terrain and oddly shaped leafless trees. I don't know if you feel it too, but there's an eerie feeling emanating from the place that suggests it's not one that's often visited. I'm not sure if the one filming is on a quest to capture otherworldly creatures, but he doesn't hesitate to film when he spots a figure in the woods ahead. The creature doesn't even notice him until a few seconds after he had started causing it to react abruptly, and it tries to hide. This mysterious figure bears a striking resemblance to a black and furry Sasquatch. It seems to be in a secluded corner of the woods going about its day, possibly relishing the screams of an unseen creature in the video. Some members of the paranormal community are convinced it's a Sasquatch. Others think it might be a skunk ape. What do you think? This spectacle, captured in a shot, reveals an intriguing moment in a lush green landscape with coiled and angled branches. At the center of attention is a white or gray-looking animal with its rear facing the trail camera. While it resembles a member of the cat family, identifying the exact species remains a mystery. It could potentially be a variety of creatures, including wild cats or even domestic cats, to determine the species accurately. Further details and clearer views of the animal's characteristics would have to be necessary. Nature often surprises us with its diversity, and this sighting adds to the intrigue of the natural world. If more information becomes available or if viewers have insights, it might help clarify the identity of this enigmatic creature. Until then, we can only guess, and guess we will. Tell me what you believe you are seeing. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Next, we have this image that was captured by an unknown man. Looks like your everyday picture, does it not? But wait till you hear the story behind it. The image on your screen reveals a young girl looking back at the camera or an individual filming from behind a tree. If you thought that this was a girl playing hide and seek, well, we can't fault you, but turns out the story is actually something much, much darker. The individual who took the image believes we're actually seeing a ghost and not a real person. He believes that the girl in the image died in that particular forest years ago and has since not left the area because her spirit has no peace. He was creeped out by the capture and shared it. Do you want to know what my thoughts are? If this is indeed true, how many more ghosts lurk in the neighborhoods? How many spirits have we met or entertained without really knowing what they were? Some speculation surrounding this image suggest it may have been taken a long time ago and that the girl might have actually been alive when it was taken. While that sounds a bit reassuring if we're going to go by what the uploader said, then the narrative is false. While that sounds a bit reassuring if we are going to go by what the uploader said, then the narrative is false. It's always intriguing to come across such images, but they always come with their mysterious aura and interesting twists. What do you think about the whole thing? Tell us in the comments section. Well, it seems even Mother Nature can have a sense of humor. In this rather amusing trail cam capture, we have a deer that appears to be sporting the latest winter fashion trend, the iced face mask. Looks like this deer was having a drink of water when it splashed all over its face. Given the frigid weather conditions, it doesn't take long for that water to turn into a frosty facial accessory. The result? A deer that looks like it's fresh from a spa day with an ice face mask that would make even the most glamorous Hollywood celebrity envious. Nature's little moments like these serve as a reminder that even in the wild there's room for a touch of whimsy. This was at least my logical explanation of the whole thing. My colleagues in the paranormal community, however, disagree and state that the creature is definitely possessed. Knowing myself, I know for a fact that I don't have a lot of experience with wildlife, so thought it might be best to ask you what you thought of the whole thing. Do you think my logical explanation is logical enough, or are we truly dealing with a paranormal situation here? Share your thoughts in the comments section. Looking at this capture, do you see anything peculiar? You don't? Well, take a closer look. You should see it. If you focus on the animal feeding to your right, you might miss those eyes in the middle. If you're familiar with trail cam footage, then you know that captures from the night usually have the eyes of the animals reflecting. Looking at those two white dots in the middle, I'm pretty sure they are eyes, but what animal do you know that has eyes that far apart? None that I'm aware of. Could it be a cryptid? Could it be an unknown and undiscovered species, or do I have it completely wrong and it's a ghost? Am I simply seeing things that are non-existent? These and many more questions plague my mind. What about you? Do you have an answer to this enigma? Please do share in the comments section. Dragons, werewolves, and witches are all characters we see in fairy tales, but these days, with these sightings in our forests and mountains, these creatures seem to be becoming more and more of a reality than they are a fiction. A hiker was exploring the woods when he came across this beautiful white horse. But wait, it's not just a horse, it's a unicorn. Yeah, you heard me right. The beautiful horse was spotting a horn on its head. Looks like in the years to come, there will be no such thing as fairy tales anymore. Another intriguing discovery captured by a trail camera is this image of a humanoid dog-like creature. The creature is covered in pristine white fur from head to toe and seems to be emerging from the woods under the cover of night. It stands upright on its hind legs, resembling what some might describe as an albino dogman. While it's true that people occasionally wear costumes or use CGI for pranks and hoaxes, this particular image does appear quite authentic. The details and posture of the creature lend an air of authenticity to the photograph. What do you think, though? Is it real? Could this be another cryptid, or is this simply a hoax? Tell us your take.
Aquí la gente está asustada. Ve, se apagó. Uy,
Y está sonando. Y eso suena.
Our next stop takes us to the captivating landscapes of Ecuador, where an unusual incident unfolded. Residents were initially drawn to the scene by a mysterious blinking light in the distance reminiscent of an explosion. Their curiosity led them to a surprising discovery: a peculiar rock. Upon closer examination, the theory emerged that the initial explosion may have been caused by a meteorite impact. The way the residents cautiously handled the rock hinted that it might still be radiating heat from its celestial journey. What makes this event even more intriguing is that some similar explosions and meteorite sightings have been reported in various corners of the globe in recent times. Could it all be a mere coincidence, or are there cosmic forces at play, perhaps even the subtle hand of extraterrestrial visitors? You tell us. Now, here's a TikTok video uploaded by the user Sleep with Horror that left many scared, perplexed, and intrigued at the same time. In the footage, you can spot a farmer out on his farm at night, likely going to tend his noisy animals. Suddenly, all of his animals bolt in one direction. But why is the farmer running away too? What did he see? If you look at the direction from which the animals were fleeing, you'll notice a dark-furred creature sprinting at top speed. There's, however, not much to see, so we can only speculate. It looks like it could be a wild animal, possibly a panther or a wolf, which would certainly make anyone run. However, there are other speculations. Some suggest that what the farmer witnessed might be a creature from our folktales: a dogman, rake, skinwalker, or even a chupacabra. These days, it seems like anything is possible. What's your take? Still, on the odd-looking and bizarre, what do you reckon this is? At first glance, one might think it's a bear, but once the footage is zoomed in, you realize that while it might have a body reminiscent of a bear, that creature is no bear. It appears to have what looks like horns on its head. Beyond that, it also appears to be moving on all twos like a humanoid would, albeit with a slight bend. Seeing this image in our mailbox was a real thrill, even though it might be a bit spooky in person. Is this a new type of cryptid? Is it some variation of the Bigfoot? Or is this a new bear hybrid? It's hard to say, but we can't wait for the subscriber who sent this in to revisit the location and send in more pictures. Until then, what do you think we're dealing with? Have you ever seen a creature like this? Please share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd love to hear them. This intriguing footage captured in the woods offers a rather bizarre but unique sight. Amidst the natural surroundings, we see a figure that appears to be clinging to a tree with its entire body resembling the texture of tree bark. It looks as though it had been in a perpetual tug-of-war with the tree for an extended period. Naturally, the one who filmed it thought it was an interesting shot and shared it online to hear people's thoughts and ideas of what it could be. Some argued that it was not a living being, but rather a carving or sculpture designed to closely resemble a human figure. Some wanted to believe it was alien. Some also subscribed to the idea that it's digitally manipulated. If you ask me what I thought about the whole thing, I'd say the hypothesis of it being a carving might not be too far off. It's possible that this carving holds significance in local folklore or legends, but without more context, its story remains a mystery. What do you think, though? Speaking of mysterious captures, if you have footage and clips you want to show on this channel, don't hesitate to send them in. If you're unsure of what you captured, don't worry, I'm sure the thousands of subscribers who watch the videos could help you make sense of it. Simply send it in to classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. Moving on, for our next capture, we visit the woods. The capture reveals a forest with smaller tree trunks and an abundance of lush green leaves, suggesting it might be a woodland area with year-round rainfall or water supply. All seems greener on that side until our focus is shifted to the elephant, or rather, the creature in the middle. It's clear that's no elephant. That was simply me being figurative. My English teacher would be so proud. Anyway, that creature is clearly in motion, causing a dark blur. But what exactly is it? Some speculate that it could be none other than one of the members of the big cat family, the Black Panther. Taking a second look at it, well, I'm skeptical. I'm tempted to believe it could be something more, perhaps a skinwalker transforming or something along those lines. What say you? Still on ghostly captures, take a look at this next footage. Before the unusual events unfold, this video captures a male figure in his home confidently moving from the door to what appears to be a kitchenette. As he moves around the counter, there's no one else in sight. Suddenly, a turquoise green bag falls from the counter. He returns to place the bag back on the counter. On his way back to the kitchen area, he passes by a chair, and just like that, it begins to move counterclockwise without any physical force, intention, or strength. This can only mean one thing: this house is haunted. It explains why, at the beginning of the video, we see him gazing into the room with curiosity. He doesn't seem perplexed, at least not as much as I'd expect him to be. Is this a regular for him, or does he simply have tough skin? Guess we'll never really know for sure. What do you see when you look at this capture? Before you conclude it's just a dirty monkey or a chimpanzee covered in mud, take a look at its fingers. Do those look normal to you? Certainly not. Moving away from its fingers and taking a look at its face, you can tell that the eyes are much more sunken than they should be, and its nostrils have holes bigger and definitely deeper than ordinary primates that size. Just what could we be dealing with here? Well, no one knows, not even the one whose trail camera captured this. According to him, there are no primates in the area, and a local legend speaks of a small but wicked ape-like creature that roams the woods seeking to exact revenge on all who hurt the wildlife in the area. He mentions that even as a child, he's always thought the story to be ridiculous and unreal. At least he thought so until his trail camera captured this. What do you think of the whole thing? Do you believe his story, or do you think there's something more sinister happening here? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd love to know. During a stroll in the woods, an unsuspecting farmer came across a natural but somewhat gruesome scene. What lay before him was the shriveled remains of a bear, which had become a feast for countless worms and insects. This sighting serves as a stark reminder of the cycle of life and nature's way of recycling organic matter. While such a sight would undoubtedly evoke strong reactions from many, the farmer displayed a remarkable level of courage by not only witnessing it, but also filming the scene. It raises the question of how one would react in the face of such a natural but unsettling spectacle. Feel free to share your thoughts on how you would have handled encountering such a sight in the comments section. We'd love to know. Stepping away from all things mysterious and scary, let's take a look at this beautiful capture a subscriber sent in. Can you recognize the creature? If you said cougar, you'd be right. The cougar, considered a charismatic feline prowler of the wild, combines stealth with grace in its solitary adventures. With a coat as sleek as midnight and eyes that gleam with secrets, it's the phantom of the forest, embodying both mystery and playful curiosity in its every saunter. Images of cougars from trail cams are always fire, and this one is a gem. As majestic and beautiful as these animals are, if you ever run into one, make sure to keep a distance. They may look cute, but they are still apex predators. If you've made it this far and haven't hit the like button, subscribed, or even dropped a comment, could you do that before you go on? Thank you very much. It means a lot. Coming back to the episode. Next, we have rather scary footage. One thing I think it'd be best before you saw or rather heard yourself. Don't worry, you'll understand soon. Did you hear it? It's not a growl, not a howl, not a roar, but something in between, something primal. The sheer weight and depth of the sound hint at the presence of something large. It also sounds like something that commands attention and respect. The owner of the bone-chilling footage is convinced that what they've captured is none other than the legendary Bigfoot, the elusive giant of the woods. The footage was taken by a hiker deep in the heart of the woods, embarking on an adventure that would soon turn hair-raising. As he traverses the wilderness, the tranquility is shattered by the eerie cry that pierces through the natural symphony of the forest. In the world of cryptids and unexplained mysteries, every sound and every rustle in the underbrush holds the potential for discovery. Could this haunting cry indeed belong to the enigmatic Bigfoot? It's a question that stirs the imagination and leaves us pondering what other secrets are hidden within the vast expanse of the forest. This image was captured on a Trailcam. Looks like it's our good old friend Bigfoot playing peekaboo with the camera. The creature in question seems to have dark fur and broad shoulders, giving it a rather imposing appearance. While it's tempting to speculate that this might be Bigfoot, it's essential to consider other possibilities. It's possible that this could be a large gorilla or another undiscovered animal. However, with more definitive evidence or additional context, it's challenging to draw any firm conclusions. What's your take on this enigmatic figure? This deer camera footage captures a tranquil scene in the woods during the night. The scattered trees and the central tree with a unique marking create an eerie and mysterious atmosphere. As the camera zooms in, we can see a prominent celestial object in the sky which could easily be mistaken for the moon. However, upon closer inspection, it appears to be more like an orb or another identified object. The nature of this object raises questions and curiosity. On this channel, we've long associated orbs with supernatural activity, but some have pointed out that this could be of alien origin. Others argue it could be an unknown celestial object or orb that somehow materialized in our plane. Either of these is possible, and either of these would be a great reality. What do you personally think we're dealing with here? Tell us in the comments section. We'd love to hear it. Oh dear, it seems we've stumbled upon a rather peculiar situation in the world of trail cams. We have two crocs, or perhaps alligators, swimming near a trail cam. Now, you must be wondering why I'm laughing, but, well, it's actually simple. I'm kind of expected to be corrected and given a lesson on the differences between a croc and an alligator. This community never lets my mistakes slide, and I love you guys for it. It's motivated me to do a little more research before putting these videos out there. Either way, back to the video. It appears that our reptilian friends have decided to make the camera their guardian and protector of their territory. Now, I must say, I'm not quite sure how the brave soul who set up this camera is planning to retrieve it. It might involve a bit of negotiation with our cold-blooded comrades, or perhaps a carefully devised strategy to outsmart them. In any case, it's a reminder that nature often has its plans, a true testament to the unpredictability and wonder of the great outdoors. Despite the dangers of recovery, you must agree that this is one fine bit of footage. God bless whoever captured it. This next capture may not be capturing an escaped inmate, but it does capture something surreal. Take a look. What do you think we're looking at here? Some kind of ape-like creature? I mean, I know we can only see a part of the creature because the image was captured around the time it was passing behind a tree. Despite this, however, we can still see one of its legs sticking out, and it appears to have an almost human-like stride. Now, when it comes to identifying this enigmatic creature, the possibilities are as diverse as the wildlife itself. At a point, some members of the team assumed it could be a mischievous monkey or even a curious bear. Looking at it, however, the creature appears to have a human-like gait. A subscriber sent this in seeking answers. While these attempt to answer it based on available evidence, I believe there's more. Could this perhaps be that iconic denizen of the wilderness, the elusive Bigfoot? Share your thoughts in the comment section. Now let's take a look at this footage. What do you see? It's hard to tell, isn't it? It just looks like a dark, cloudy image, but take your time and observe it critically. A face should be forming now in your mind. The image looks like the lower part of a face. From the top bit toward the lower bit of the face, you see a nose, then some lips, and what look like cheeks and a beard. We wish we could show you the rest of the body, but unfortunately, this is all the Trailcam managed to capture. Perhaps something obstructed the view from the side. So, the million-dollar question, what is that? A human? Perhaps a large and hairy one? A gorilla? Or a cryptid like Bigfoot? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. We'd love to see them. So, what do you see in this CCTV footage? It looks like a human walking on all fours like an animal will, right? A closer look and you'd realize that its movements are far from natural. Because of this fact, all who saw the footage when it was uploaded thought it might be a skinwalker. Despite this assertion, there are some who also thought it might be a rake instead. There's a third sect thought that thinks there's nothing supernatural about the footage and that it's merely a human either playing games or acting weirdly. I'm tempted to lean toward the third assertion, but what do you think? Next, we have a Trailcam footage that's aiming for the spot of the most chaotic footage I have ever come across. Take a look. In the footage, we have a herd of innocent-looking deer frozen in their tracks, their wide eyes locked onto a sly and cunning fox up ahead. But wait, the fox seems to be engaged in its stare-off with something else, something colossal and humanoid sauntering across the path and into the woods. Did you catch it? This enigmatic creature, towering like a behemoth, defies easy classification. It's certainly not your run-of-the-mill forest inhabitant. Bears? Well, they're not typically known for their bipedal strolls, so what's left in the realms of legendary woodland mysteries? None other than the elusive and legendary Bigfoot. Or do you not see it? Now we have this popular yet very controversial footage from a couple of years ago. If I were to mention blood-sucking beings, what comes to mind? Vampires, right? But what if I told you there were other creatures known for sucking blood? Yes, that's right, vampires aren't the only ones. All these animals you were seeing had their blood sucked dry. Fortunately, the other blood-sucking creature has a taste for animals and not humans. It's a creature of legend known as a chupacabra, and one such creature has been drinking the blood of the livestock on the farm these clips were captured. And how do we know for sure? The farmers managed to capture it in action, but just before they could make it pay for its sins, it got away. They're convinced it's the legendary chupacabra, and we're leaning toward believing them. But what do you think? For our next footage, perhaps I should just allow you to watch it and tell me what you think. So, what do you think about the footage you've seen so far? You do see the trees in the background, don't you? And you do see the structure to the left side of the screen, right? As interesting as those things might be, they can't compare to the hairy creature. You see the hairy creature too, right? What is it? Well, no one can say for sure, but given the fact that the Trailcam capture is from a secluded area without any bears or apes, all who have seen the photo believe it's Bigfoot. Frankly, there's little evidence to prove or disprove it, so we're gonna sit out passing judgment for this one. Next, we have a trail cam capture that's gonna have even the most experienced zoologists scratching their heads. Have a look. What do you see in the image? A gorilla? Well, hold on, take a closer look. It does appear to have the bulk bodies typically associated with our large primates, but a closer look and you'd realize it's not a gorilla. It's actually something more. While it might look like a gorilla casually moving in the woods, you sit back, take a critical look, and realize that it might actually be a larger creature crouching on the ground. Which creature do we know that's large enough to look like a gorilla when it crouches? A Bigfoot. The next thing is the footage authentic? That will let you decide. Now, let's take a look at this video clip where an unexpected creature boldly ventures into unfamiliar territory. With the voices heard in this video, we can say this animal is in human terrain. What is this animal, you might ask? This creature, seen navigating a disheveled working area, resembles a furless ferret. It's like an aging adult ferret, a tamed species belonging to the Mustelidae family. Like other mustelids, they have long and slender physiques. Take a closer look at it, though. I feel that this creature is much larger than your typical ferret. What do you think? We start off today's episode with a riveting discovery. Someone spotted some movement in a river, and upon closer inspection, this is what he found. No, you're not imagining things. That's an actual lobster, and a colossal one at that. A giant making waves in the water. If you pay attention to the clip, you'll realize that its size is not the only thing that sets it aside. No, take a look at its eyes. Those blood-red eyes certainly will. It's like something out of a deep-sea horror. Nature has a knack of throwing curveballs at us, and this lobster is no different. I know it sounds crazy, but I'd actually want to see this. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this river-dwelling giant with its intense ruby-red eyes? Looking at this clip, you can certainly tell that we reserved the strangest for last. It appears to me that we've come across a rather fascinating insect with a strikingly beautiful golden brown body. The upper body of this intriguing creature seems to resemble that of a prawn, with a set of well-defined segments and a pair of articulated legs on each. Its lower body, on the other hand, appears to be a soft and fleshy caterpillar-like structure with several pairs of small legs. I've combed the internet and can't seem to find anything on this creature, but then again, identifying animals hasn't necessarily been my strongest suit. Unless one of you knows what this is, I'm very convinced this is a fake. And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for staying with us. Oh yeah, before you go, are there clips and videos you think we should have featured by now that we haven't? Well, the good news is you can share them with us and we'll post them crediting you. Please send any such footage, including ones you recorded yourself, to us via classifiedcaptures@gmail.com. We'll do our thing and include it in our next episode. We can't wait to receive what you have. Share this video with someone you love, and I'll see you in the next one.